catching all the love from around the world. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light in the darkest times? You make it bright, Life's dreams, we're all by your side, Keep on doing what you do, girl. You're one of a kind, Shelly, Shelly, you're our last street star. Keep rocking your show, no matter where you are.
Hey, Shelly from the block. Jersey girl with a mouth that won't stop, no. Sassy, and I'm not afraid to show it. Gonna spill the tea, you better be ready for it. I speak my mind, no filter inside. Shelly's in the house, talking trash and truth. No sugar-coated blues. Taking melody, then get out the way. Jersey girl with something to lose. Shelly's in the house, time to break the rules. From coast to the city, I'm the queen of cool. You can handle the heat, then take a hike. Shelly's in the house, drop the mic.
Hey, Shelly in the house tonight, living it up, feeling so right. New Jersey girl, she's got that style. Live stream queen with a million smiles, and she know the love from around the world. Hey Shelly, won't you shine your light? It's time to make it right. Live stream queens with a wayside. You're one of a kind. Shelly, Shelly, you're a live stream star. Keep rocking the show no matter where you are. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'm hoping. I think that's what I'm making for dinner. It is 12:03 p.m. on the East Coast on October 8th. Can you believe we're already over a week into October? 2024, less than a month out from the election. Let's hope that goes well for us. And this is Shelly, your mouthy mama with talking trash and truth, and you've come to Coffee and Chaos with T3. That's me. Today's topic is the ugly side of streaming, and I have been going back and forth with myself for the last hour as to what I want to say and how I want to say it, because I don't like to burn bridges unless I have to. I mean, once I'm done with you, I'll blow the whole fucking bridge up. But for the most part, I don't like burning bridges, and I don't like attacking people, and I don't like maligning people, despite what other people like to paint me as. Yet there's things that are going on that are really irritating me, and I think I just want to talk about it today. That's I'm not out to demonize anybody. I'm not out to, like make anybody into like this unsung hero. Nobody's a saint, nobody's a full devil. Everybody kind of falls in the middle, and people seem to forget that. And there's no grace giving when it comes to our communities for some reason. People, I don't know, they just like having that gotcha mentality. So I'm going to get into that. But first, I have to say hi to my chat. Hello, Wolfram, dropping those links like it's hot. He wipes his paws, lips in, and howls. Ow. Over time, my howling has gotten worse. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess because now that I'm stuck in this friggin' room, and there's people who like to listen in and misconstrue whatever I say, I can't be my normal loud self. Believe it or not, I'm not being loud right now. Now, in my old apartment, I could be as loud as I wanted, and whoever heard me, I didn't give a shit. But now I have to because I say stuff and they overhear bits and pieces, and then it's, I heard you say me, 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 me. And it's like, you know what? Did you listen to the whole show? No, I don't have time like that. Well, then shut the fuck up. Like, if you didn't listen to what I was saying, stop nitpicking. You can't just like cherry pick what you want to bitch about. So it's like, whatever. So yeah, I tend to be a little quieter. Some of my arus don't come out as like full-throated as they should. No pun intended. Or maybe pun intended. You never know. Heidi. So hello to Wolfram. Hi, Heidi. How you doing, honey? Iron Rabbit, how you doing, sweetie? I hope you're breathing better, feeling better. And I hope if you're not, that you're resting up. Actually, rest up anyway. Girl, the weather is turning and you need your rest. I don't want you getting sick for the whole winter because we need you, Rabbit. I miss you. I really do. So we wish you well and we send you love. Mwah. We meaning me. But I'm sure chat does too. Yamaha biker. Oh, hello. Hi, honey. Back and forth with yourself. Listen, what you do on your own time. What I do on my own time is content. I mean, let's face it. If I was doing back and forth with myself and I put that on the internet, I'd have a hell of a lot more than 700 subscribers. Okay? Let's face it. Because I used to do that for a living on the phone and I know how popular I was. So, yeah, if I did a complete degenerate channel, oh, I'd have so much money. So much money. And thankfully, like I have a decent voice. All right, my accent's Jersey, but what you can do? Some people have that fetish. Actually, a lot of people have that fetish. But if I could just throw up a picture of any random chick or of myself, it really doesn't matter because I am cute. I am so cute. But I'd make tons of money, but I don't do that. Somebody tried to make me do that, and I did it for them for a while, just being totally debaucherous and saying whatever the hell. And they capitalized on it. My channel didn't benefit in the slightest because it wasn't on my channel, and it was just too draining. So it's like it. You can't always be on the top of your game. You can't. I mean, even I need rest. Jesus. But yeah, no, if I went back and forth with myself on the internet, I'm pretty sure I'd have a bigger house. Which I wouldn't be living with my friggin' mother. Do. Yamaha. And Wolfram, thank you. You're just helping torturing people, but thank you. Oh yes, make sure whatever links we throw out for people, and I love that my mods do this, especially Wolfram, always support fellow content creators. Always. I mean, I don't see the point of just keeping everything to yourself. It's not like there's not millions upon millions of people on YouTube. So whatever we can do to help each other out, that's what we do. So thank you, Wolfram, and my other mods for always supporting the other content creators. I fully support that. I promote it. I endorse it. And I love sending out links for the ones who think they suck because Yamaha loves to be like, oh, blah, blah. Please, your voice is literally just sex covered in velvet. Okay, trust me, there are women out there and men who need that. Okay, and it's very soothing. It's not just sexy, it's soothing. So yeah, check him out. I'm going through chat real quick. Elephant, hi Ellie. On the phone can't tag. That always amuses me when she says that because it only irritates Ellie. I think that's hilarious. I love her for it. But she's the only one that gets irritated that she can't tag. Most people, my chat is so little, you don't have to tag. Everybody here knows one another. Hey, cool gamer, happy birthday! Aw. Happy birthday, cool gamer. Do me a favor, guys. I mean, there's only like 5 or 6 of us here. So can you just wish him a happy birthday? Aw, happy birthday to you. How old are you? Late 21, 22? I hope you're over 18. I mean, I'm just saying. Just saying. But happy birthday to you. Let's see. I don't have my soundboard set up, so I can't do the little voice. But let's see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, cool gamer. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I don't do that for everybody. So, hey, Susie, how you doing? Yes, thank you guys for saying happy birthday to him. Very sweet. Cool Gamer is very, very loyal. He literally comes to every one of my shows, every one of winning shows. So believe me, that kind of loyalty is more appreciated than you know. And we just enjoy you being there. It's nice that you talk more now. In the beginning, we were like, he only ever says hi, and that's it. Like now he says, I said hello to you, and I get all happy. I'm like, yeah, you did. You did say hello. I love my chat. I do. I love Winning's chat. I love my chat because you guys, you always manage to keep the conversation going. You don't come in and start like dissing on anybody or like just being negative or trolly. And the sad part is, well, not sad. I think the funny part is that a lot of people that used to come to my chats or still come to my chats and lurk were trolls of mine at some point. And they were like, I'm here to troll and make you mess up or whatever. And all right, I'll stay. And then they always came back. So I love that. Hi, Susie. How's everything up in Canada? I hope everything's going well. We got a nice cold snap going right now. So it's I lurk a lot now. Yeah. I lurk everywhere. It's funny because people are like, "Oh, I'm like, I know. Oh, but I was on this I know. How do you know you weren't there?" Yeah, I was. Of course I was there. Like I don't have the energy to talk and chat all the time, but I will always go to people's, you know, streams and listen and whatever. And that's one of the things I do that people won't really they don't know about. Like I'll promote them and they don't know because I'm a tiny channel. I mean, who the hell is listening to me? But whoever else, is listening to me, they get good information on a lot of little streamers that need some help. I used to do a lot of panel shows. I used to have people on. I used to go on other people's things. Well, I used to get invited to things, but then, amphibians started falling from the sky on my head, and that was the end of that, which is fine because panels tend to eat each other and talk over one another, and it gives me a headache, and I just don't like it. So I just said, screw it. If I'm going to stay a small channel, I'll just stay by myself and talk about what I want to talk about and enjoy my own stream. My opinions are my opinions. They don't apply to anybody else. Unfortunately, I feel like when I stopped doing panels and stopped inviting people onto my channel, it kind of had a backlash on other people, like on Winning. And he tells me I'm crazy for thinking this, but I really do think that he lost out on a lot of opportunities just by befriending me in the whole frog fallout. Because we weren't talking shit behind the scenes. We were being quiet. He was respecting the fact that I didn't want to say anything. And the other side was just maligning me constantly. And if you malign me and make me to be a pariah and he's my best friend, then unfortunately some of that falls on him too. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about with the ugly side of streaming. It's very office politics on here, but in a fishbowl. Everything that goes on in here gets exacerbated. It gets blown up out of proportion. We take these streamers and we put them up on a pedestal, and then when they make a mistake, instead of just being like, oh, well, look at, they're human. No, oh my God, they're the devil, they're this, they're that. So it's just like, it's a big dog pile. Like everybody just piles on. And there are people who are going through really hard times in their life because they made bad decisions and they made terrible, terrible, terrible choices. But they're already suffering. They don't need their previously supportive community turning on them and jumping on top. It's like, yeah, just add to my misery. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think people care anymore that they're pushing other people toward worse mental states and worse scenarios. Like, if you ever turned to drugs to escape your life because you couldn't deal with the stresses in it or the negativity in it, and people turn against you and publicize it and jump on it and harass you about it and constantly just malign you for every little thing, people who were previously friends, quote unquote friends, don't you think that person's going to get even more overwhelmed? Don't you think you're contributing to their use of said drugs? Or at least you're adding to their, how do I put this? You're making it fucking harder for them to quit. I mean, that's what this does. When somebody's already drowning in misery, why would hand them a bucket to bail themselves out or sit down and shut the fuck up? Why would you continue? Oh, let me turn the water on for you. Like, if they're already drowning, why would you put more on top of them? Why? Because it makes you feel better. It gives you a little bit of a fucking, and here's where I'm going to fucking rant. I wasn't going to do this, but fuck it. I don't care. There are people out there, and you know who they are, they were bolstered up. They were, like huge internet, like personalities. I mean, huge compared to like me, but, but they fucked up. They fucked up. Now, the person who fucked up, I consider a friend. Am I pissed at them right now? Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? What they're going through, it ain't about me. So I can't say, oh, well, we don't really talk that much anymore. They're fucking busy. When he has a chance or whatever, and I'm not even going to say they. When he has a chance, he talks to me. Always encouraging, always uplifting, always supportive. Might be short and sweet, but it's still there. It's still an effort. It's not a total, ghosting, blackout, whatever. I get it. There's shit going on there, and your mind isn't right. I know where I was when my mind wasn't right. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. Like, I literally was just like, what? Like, I had no clue what was going on. I made horrible decisions and I paid the price for it. I made associations with people who didn't deserve my time of day. Like, it just, oh my God, I'm so irritated right now. All right, so fuck it. I try to be professional, like at least a little bit on here, but I really don't give a shit right now. He was my friend. He's still my friend. I'm still, people say, oh, you're a degenerate, you're whatever, because you're crazy. You're seeing, through, like, you're doing the copium and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you and your cope. Fuck all that shit. There's a thing in my life called loyalty. I have grown up being very, very loyal to certain people. Like, when somebody means something to me, I am completely loyal to that person. You fuck with that person and I fuck with you. Like, that's just how it is. I stopped doing that and I started being quiet because I didn't want my channel to be affected. But more to the point, I didn't want Winning's channel to be affected because I was afraid I would make enemies for him and he would lose subscribers. And I'm still, like, I feel muzzled because of that. However, right now I'm so irritated at all the bullshit going on that we talk about the other side in politics eating their own. We're no different. YouTube will eat its own. The communities will literally implode. And unfortunately, Nick had said this once upon a time. He went on and said, I hate being part of communities because eventually they're going to pick up on something that you fuck up, you make a mistake, and they're going to split. Half of them are going to support you. Half of them are going to make the most of whatever bad situation you're in. And they're either going to grift off it or they're going to just get their own personal shits and giggles by being trolls and being nasty and just, flagging your channel and talking shit about you and, making sure that they, like, get you excluded from certain communities and certain events or whatever. And he talked all about that. And I was like, yeah, but how bad could it be? Now I see how bad it could be. I see. I mean, I was the recipient of it, but I mean, I see how bad it could be. Do I agree with the shit that he did? No. Listen, all right, so fuck it. I love Nick. Nick is my friend. We have had non-degenerate conversations. We've had semi-degenerate conversations. It depends on, like the topic, whatever. He has offered to come onto my channel. He does. He did it many times. And he was like, what do you mean no? When the whole thing with the amphibian went down and I was like gonna give up on YouTube, he was like, fuck it, no. He was like, I'll come on, we'll do a show together. He was like, I'll get you the subs you need. He was like, I'll get you whatever. He was like, I'll promote you. I was like, no. He was like, what do you mean no? I was like, I want to do it on my own. I don't want to ride anybody's coattails. Like I'm not in this to be some fucking clout goblin. I've known too many of those. I wanted to earn every single sub I got. And I wanted to earn every single sub I lost. Because if I lost them, fuck it. All right, bye. There's the door. I say goodbye to real people in like 3D life. You think I'm going to cry over one sub that I don't even know? The people that I know on here aren't going anywhere. They're just not. Like you guys, you know what I'm about. You've literally seen every side of my personality. So, I mean, if you're here because you want to be. And I don't take that for granted. I appreciate every single one of you. Side of here, we can talk about problems, and I will never air your dirty laundry. I will never talk about your shit. I will just be there when you need me. I might be a little late because I tend to, like I said, avoidant personality, but I will show up. But at least you're safe with me. Do I talk about blowjobs? Sometimes. Do I talk about, like bisexuality? Sometimes. It depends. It depends on what my mood is for the day, what the topic is. And it depends on who I'm talking to, which is another reason why I don't do panels, because they tend to ask me to talk about shit that I don't want to talk about anymore. Like I've done that. It didn't leave me feeling better. So why would I engage in that? So it's like, whatever. And yes, I mean, almost dying, that does tend to turn you around. And I have better influences in my life. I'm not saying my life is better, because it's not. Right now, I'm more miserable than I've been for like years. But that's neither here nor there. That's more mother related. But we knew that was a possibility. And I got to deal with it. I got to find a bit of the old me, the old angry me that is going to like bite back when she starts in on me. But I don't know. Part of me is still like, I just don't want the drama. I just really don't. All right. So my whole rant was, he's my friend. I love him. I'm always going to be on his side, whether he's right or wrong. And that's the thing. I don't think what he did was right. I don't think what they're saying he did is right, because nothing's been like proven, whatever. And if it does get proven, so fucking be it. But you know what? He's still Nick. He's still the dude who talked me off a ledge. He's still the dude who was like, no, come on, just I'll do it. I'll make you like, you'll make money, whatever. Trying to convince me to come on my show so that he could make me more successful at what I do. And that has always meant so much to me. And it tickles me that he was like, what do you mean no? Like he couldn't fathom, like, oh my God, she's telling, but I mean, I could at least get her a couple like 1,000 subs or whatever. No, like, dude, I'll do it myself. This is my show, my channel. It's my problem and it's my project. And if I crash and burn, I crash and burn. If I stay where I am, okay. And if I get successful, kudos to me. Either way, I like to do things myself. It's not the whole, oh, I don't want to say thank you, though that is part of it, because people tend to, if they back me a little, they tend to bring that shit up for like a year. And I'm like, all right, you did one little thing for me. How much have I done for you? Like, fuck off. But I don't like having to constantly have somebody hold that over my head. So I don't like owing anybody anything. Having said that, I really just wanted to accomplish it on my own. And I don't think he understood that because he did his shit on his own. He did it by doing the trials and whatever, but he was getting used to just, people would come on, they'd get a whole bunch of subs and then they'd fuck off. And that's kind of a sucky thing, so he got used to losing people, I think. Because they would come on to his show, they'd get whatever they needed, and then they'd turn around and turn their back on him or stab him in the back or whatever, or profit off, grifting off of his, misfortune, whatever. I'm not pointing anybody out individually. There's a lot of people that I don't fuck with. I won't watch their streams. I can't even stand hearing their names because it disgusts me how they turned, especially when they're not perfect. They are far from perfect. And there's ones out there that I enjoy their streams. Their takes, do I love them talking about Nick? No, but I can't stop that. But they're fair. They tend to be more, how do I say it? They tend to be more fact-based. They don't, throw tons of opinions in there. Take Meme Copium, for example. I'm not a huge fan of Meme. I'm really not, because he hates me. Well, maybe he doesn't hate me, but whenever we were on a panel together, he was always really rude to me. And, he doesn't like me. I like him, unfortunately. I like his streams. So I watch his streams. I like him. I like the byplay that he has back and forth with, with Max and with BP and whatever. I enjoy his streams. I don't think he's done a shit job of covering any of the people that I love. Like, I don't think he's done a bad job of it. I really don't. I think he's pretty much stuck to whatever documents were released, whatever, Kiwi Farms was saying. I think he's done a good job. Do I love it? No. Do I watch it? Yes, because you know what? He actually has information without a whole bunch of biased opinions and ego, going into it. So I think he's fair. I go there, I watch it. I tend to catch up on what's going on in LawTube by watching Meme Copium. All right. I'm not promoting him. I'm not, demoting him or however the hell you promoting, whatever. Words are hard. Okay. But English is not my friend today. Bafangul. That's my friend today. I like his show. He doesn't like me. I like his show. So I have nothing bad to say about him. And he does tend to have a lot of information that is right there at my fingertips, done right in like a 2-3 hour span that I can go at 2 times speed, which he's really funny at 2 times speed. If you've never heard him at 2 times speed, it's hilarious. But, so it amuses me. He's friends with Max. I love me some Max Mira. Love Max. Max is just a one of a kind. I can't say enough good things about Max. So their streams, I tend to be like, all right, I take them at face value. They're just doing streams. Like, he's just doing stream. He's not out there trying to crash somebody. That I don't think that's his intention. Do I look at him as a small creator? I don't, because he's way, way bigger than me. But do I look at him at like Ricada and like that level, like that kind of stuff? No, of course not. I mean, his reach is getting bigger and bigger, though, so good for him. My point is, and I know I'm rambling because there's so much that my filter keeps trying to kick in, and I don't want it to, because I just want to say what I want to say. Nick made a lot of mistakes, apparently, or allegedly. And yeah, when he starts with the tweets, and do I want to punch him in the head? Yeah, I really do. I really do. I want to punch him in the head and go, dude, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Don't engage. That's the first rule you taught me. Do not engage with the trolls. And what are you doing? You're engaging with the trolls. Follow your own goddamn advice. This is not monkey see, monkey do. I mean, not do as I say, not as I do. It should be monkey see, monkey do, whatever. Like, if you tell us to do something, you should follow your own goddamn advice. But he doesn't, and that's Nick. And Nick has some weird libertarian, I have to go against everything kind of attitude. And I get it. I get it. He's very oppositional. Whatever. Still love him to death. But it doesn't mean I don't want to kick his ass every single day. And I do. I want to kick his ass every day. Every day. Because he had everything and then it just crashed. But do I want to be one of those people who jumps on the bandwagon to make him feel worse? No. Do I want to put him in a worse headspace where he can't fight, for his kids, for his life, for his health, for anything? No. I would rather lift him up, pray for him, tell him, hey, love you, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. You haven't done anything that is unforgivable. There are things that are unforgivable. There are lines in the sand. And he hasn't crossed any. Yeah, everybody jumps on the house and the kids were hungry. Were you there? Do you know? Do you know specifics? Because often things sound a lot worse than they were. And having been, a victim of nonstop child abuse, I advocate for the kids. His kids are fine. His kids are fine. Like, everybody keeps going back. How about you live in the now? Did he fuck up? Maybe. Is he trying to correct it? Hopefully. I mean, it looks that way. Is he in a little bit of self-denial in other areas? Maybe. Aren't we all? I want the first person who has never made a mistake and never looked back and said, shit, I was in denial, to sit up and then you tell me hi, because I would love to meet somebody of that caliber. What an amazing human you must fucking be. To have never made a mistake. To have never, lived in like this delusion where you're right because you're being stubborn. Or because you can't take another hit right now. And I don't mean that in like the snow, no snow sense. I mean that in you can't take another, fall down. You can't. The negativity can kill. It could destroy people. And I mean, that's what the internet seems to be about. We like you today, so we're going to promote you and be good to you, and we're going to talk about you, and it's all going to be great. But today, oh no, you made a mistake, so now you must die. You have to be destroyed. Like, what? That's why the world is as fucked up as it is, because the compassion is gone. Empathy, gone. Understanding, gone. Refraining from being an asshole when somebody is already down and kicking them when they're down, that's just, oh my God. One is completely gone. The other is in full effect. It's cruel. People have begun to let their cruelty out because they're protected behind a keyboard. They don't have to do it to their face. But I guarantee every single one of these people will have so much shit to say. Right now, they're talking about, I watched like a whole chat making fun of Joe being a Jew. Really? Really? What kind of human being are you? Oh my God. Joe's going through this thing. Did he make a mistake, like a bad business decision or whatever? Maybe. Was it a long freaking time ago? Yeah. They're like, well, why didn't he just pay it? Well, I mean, hindsight is 2020. In retrospect, he probably thinks, oh, fuck it, I should have just paid the, like, what was it? I think like 13 grand or whatever, and been like, screw it. But instead, he fought it because he didn't believe he was in the wrong. You have a right to do that. Why should you capitulate to somebody else's greed and, retardedness if you think you're right? Oh, I think I'm right, but you know what? Everybody else might think I'm wrong, so let me just give in. Fuck that. You fight. You fight for yourself. You fight for your reputation. Because once your reputation is gone, you're screwed. It takes forever to take that shit back. Meme mentioned, was it me? I think it was Meme that mentioned Kurt, how Kurt on civil law fucked up in the beginning. He copyright claimed a couple of people and that he shouldn't have because he had hurt fifis. And he admits that. He blew up on Nick's birthday stream at Megan Fox. He apologized. He admits that. He actually has a redemption arc, and he's wildly popular, which I would not have said that he would have been, but hey, he did it. Is he my favorite streamer? No. Do I leave him alone? Absolutely, because you know what? He does his thing. He's just not my cup of tea. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. But he fucked up in the beginning a lot. And everybody was on him and they're making fun of him. And I give him credit that he did not buckle under that much negativity. He actually rose up. He made himself better. He learned from the criticisms. And he corrected. He self-corrected, which I think is an amazing thing when you can self-correct. And I give him a lot of credit for that. But yeah, in the beginning, he was screwing up left and right. Even like a year in, he was still screwing up because he's got a temper. And so do I. And, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the club. But he did. He turned himself around and he stuck to what he knows. And he was like, you know what? You don't like my personality. You don't like the way I look. You don't like the way I do this. You don't like my decorations. You don't, whatever. I'm just going to talk about the law. And that's what he did. And he got really good at it and really popular at it because he knows his shit. So good for him. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can correct like that. Some of them, they won't admit that there's an issue. And some of them, they just had issues way, way in the past. Joe's thing happened like, what was it, 8 years ago? And he's still in litigation. Yes, the pandemic fucked it up and made it, longer. But now he owes like $117,000 because of like interest and whatever else and lawyer fees. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And people are calling him a fraud. Do you see the paperwork? Are you in the court? Like, do you know all the specifics? Because there's Joe's side, there's the other dude's side, and then in the middle somewhere, there's the truth. It's the same thing with Nick. There's Nick's side, and there's the, police side, and then somewhere in the middle of there's the truth. And I get that. Why does everybody else not seem to get that? I mean, I know you guys get it, but like, why do they harp on it all the time? And why do they make money off of maligning and demonizing what used to be their friends? They're like, well, Nick responded to me in such a nasty way. Well, you came out of the gate hot. He's already in a bad position. His friends are turning on him. Did you expect him to say, oh, thank you for fucking me in the ass with no lube? Like, thanks a lot for putting all my shit out there? I don't think so. It's a little naive to think that he would be like, oh, hi, buddy. No, I was just trying to be helpful. No, you weren't. It's not like anybody involved with him doesn't know his personality. You know how he's going to take shit. And you know how he's going to respond. So guess what? Maybe keep that in mind when you open your big fucking mouth. And yes, I know I'm cursing a lot and I try not to do that all the time, but I'm really irritated because I see it more and more and more and more. And it's just so mean. It's so mean. And that's why this world is in the shape it's in, because we all fell for a bunch of bullshit and we swallowed whatever. We drank the Kool-Aid. We were in the soup, however you want to put it. And then one thing goes wrong and everybody turns vicious. And it's like, okay, can we just be humans? Like, be actual decent humans for a while? Why can't they just find other content? I'm not saying you have to agree with these people. I'm not saying you have to like them. But why harp on the already like damaged train? Like, they're hurting. They're in dire straits. They're going through something that could push lesser people to take kind of serious action against themselves. Why would you add to that? Just shut up. You don't have to promote them. You don't have to encourage them. You don't have to say, hey, I'm on their side. Just shut the fuck up. That's all. Just shut up. There's a streamer out there who is really good friends with both these men who wouldn't probably have a channel if it wasn't for them. And yet they talk shit all the time and, oh, but I'm a good guy. No, you're not. No, you're not. Acting like you didn't use e-thoughts to fucking promote your channel and make yourself better. Give me a break. If it was all, oh, it's because of my content. Yeah, it's because your content with tits on the fucking screen. Give me a break. I'm not saying like full bare, but like you literally threw like pretty girls up there just for fucking draw. So it's like, come on. Like, you know the game. You know, you do that and then you turn around and say, oh, but I'm above board. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Before I say something I can't take back, let me go back to chat because I know I'm way behind. I know. I looked away from the screen because I see you guys scrolling through. All right, so let me catch up to where I was. I'm having a hard time catching up. I'm just my mind. All I see red right now. I want to do damage, and I can't because I'm. You know what? I keep saying, God, control my mouth, God. And this is not going to be a long stream because this is literally just me getting my aggravation out. Yamaha, Suzanne, what I do now, I'm innocent. Yamaha said, yeah, okay. He said he's innocent. You're so cute. Inya, how you doing, honey? I appreciate a good creative troll. I like trolls. I do. If you're not malicious. But if you're picking on somebody because of their religion or their culture or whatever, you're pretty much you're a douche. Like, stop it. Like, pick on them for their content, pick on them for their own personality. Don't attribute it to like this entire culture or an entire religion or an entire ethnicity because that's just you being freaking retarded. And you're just saying hi. And you said, rarely do I leave a creator, but I've left a few. I've left a few because I couldn't take the negativity. I really couldn't. And it was always the same. It was like no different content. They didn't talk about anything relevant. They talked about the same, like once they hit on that vein where they knew people would, oh, it's in my title, so they're going to jump on board. They would just over and over and over and over. And it was like, all right, this is the same record just replaying over and over. Like, I'm done. And you got to move on. Yamaha biker. And I get why a lot of people left Nick because it did get to be a lot. I mean, even I dialed back. I mean, I watched the beginning and the end of your streams. I just missed the middle parts. But good show. And he'd be like, thanks. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to degeneracy, when I'm in the mood. But sometimes it's like you listen, and you're like, dude, really? Like, all right. Like now you're just drunk and being stupid. But all right. Sometimes it's amusing, sometimes it's not. Does that mean that I don't like the person? No. It's just I just don't like your content right now. So I have to move on for a little while. But I'll be back. I always circle back. I always visit. I lurk a lot. Like a lot. And people don't realize that I have other devices where I leave their streams running so that they get watch time, they get the views. And if it's over like a certain amount of time, then YouTube tends to not take away the views. I lose views like crazy. Like YouTube literally took 40 views off my other stream. It took 10 views off the last stream I did. And I'm like, you know what? Like if I close the show with a certain amount of views and then it goes up by like 5, but then down by 15, like what are you doing to me, YouTube? So at this point, I'm literally only talking to my friends. That's all I'm doing. Like, you guys are just my friends. You come, you hang out. It's like having a giant phone conversation. Like, that's all it is. Only it can be used against me later, which I don't really care. Like, you want to use it against me? There's plenty out there you can use against me. Knock yourself the fuck out. Because I'm very honest and transparent about my life. Like, you want to know something? I'll tell you. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I really don't. Like, I'd rather just lean into all my mistakes because maybe somebody can learn from it. Maybe I'll learn from them because sometimes I don't. Yeah, don't leave me, Iron Rabbit. Don't run away. Come back. I promise the smell goes away. Inya, she's one of those people. One of those people. Listen, girl, you are very loyal. People do have a breaking point. They do. And sometimes it's not even, you think it's that creator that you're like, oh, I'm done. It's the environment that's created around them or the environment that they create that you're just like, you know what? I don't think you're a bad person, but I can't do this right now. And it depends on where you are in your life too. If you're going through struggles, you don't want to really like log into somebody who's going through struggles but not facing them because you're like, dude, your life was so much better than mine is right now and you fucked it up. You get a little resentful. I know I was there. Like I would love to smack somebody really, really hard in the head. They'd probably like it. But I mean, I'd just love to like cabatos. But yeah, no, I go back and forth on it. My loyalty is there, the love is there, the prayers are there. But I kind of want to tough love him a little and beat the shit out of him because it's like I just sit there and I'm like, really? Really? Like how do you not see it? But I get it. I've been in the middle of stuff like that where you're in it so deep that you don't see how bad you look to other people. You don't see that this little misstep is not little, it's big, and it's going to have repercussions, and those repercussions are going to be loud and long lasting, and you're going to have scars from it, and you might not recover completely. You might not recover at all. Hell, you might get worse. You don't see it because you're in it. It's too close to you. And sometimes you just don't want to see it. Especially if you're using things to escape your life or to, I don't know, live out a missed youth or whatever. Like, if you're doing that, everything in your brain is going to tell you it's good. It's good. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. We need those endorphins. We need that high. We need that rush. Whether you get it from popularity or drugs or drinking or sex or being an asshole to people, which believe me, a lot of people get off on that. Like, whatever it is, your brain is going to convince you to keep doing it. It takes a really strong person to walk away from things that they shouldn't do but feel good while they're being done. Like, it's the pleasure principle, right? Like, everybody wants that euphoric feeling. You know, they want that bliss because life is hard. Life is negative. Life hurts. You know, so you want those good moments and you don't, especially if you're not used to getting them, you're not used to feeling the good, like at that level. And maybe you're bored. Maybe things have become mundane or routine and you just want to shake things up a little. A little turns into a lot and then a lot gets out of control. Shit happens. People fuck up. You know what's really divine? What God gave us, besides the free will to fuck up, is the ability and capacity to forgive and to be compassionate and understanding. Don't enable, but don't turn your back and be like, oh, well, now I'm going to be a dick to you because you did this and I didn't like it. Well, who the fuck are you? Do you tell that person, that person's life is up there on YouTube 24/7, fully, visible to the world, yes, they're going to come under scrutiny. What's going on in your life? Do you want that same kind of scrutiny, like spotlighting your life? Do you want to be under a microscope? Because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't turn out, as well as you think you do. Nobody wants that. And I mean, when we sign up to be YouTubers, we sign up for the scrutiny. When you stream, when you put your voice out there, when you voice your opinions, you're putting yourself out there saying, hey, go ahead. This is me. You're going to pick me apart if you want to. You're going to like me if you want to. You're going to agree with me if you want to. And that's one of the things I don't like. When somebody agrees with you, they're all supportive and whatever. But if you have a difference of opinion, they go full friggin' enemy. It's like, what the hell? Like, we were fine yesterday. One thing we disagreed on, now we can't be friends. That's just immature. It's immature and petty, and it's stupid. But I guess it is what it is. That's what happens. Sorry, guys. They turned the heat on in the house because it's like 44 degrees outside. And it's a little chilly, but that's why I own socks and hoodies. But they put the heat on, and now I'm like my throat is so dry, which we all know Shelly don't like a dry throat. But oh my God, I'm so like, there's no nice way to say it. Everything I say comes out dirty, but I'm so thirsty right now. Anyway, whatever. Take that as you will. We all know I get thirsty, but I do have a tall drink of water. So, Yamaha, Iron Rabbit, I knew you love. Iron Rabbit said, Yamaha, you will never push me away. Not Rabbit. Mm-mm. It takes a lot to piss Rabbit off. Listen, one of my fondest memories was of her yelling at Darth. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh. But even she yelled at, and he just kind of took it, was like, okay, I'm sorry. Because it takes a lot to get Rabbit to be like, no, you stop that. You're being an asshole. And for her to say that, he was like, okay, maybe I am. Like, and he automatically corrected and apologized, and it was so cute. And it's like one of my favorite YouTube memories. But it really is, because she was just like, and not even like authoritarian or like mean or anything. She just flat out said it. And he was just like, he felt like properly chastised. It was hilarious. Elephant. I assume all creators put their pants on like everybody else, have issues and aren't perfect. That's right. That's right. Iron Rabbit said, Shelly T3, I stay loyal. Yes, you do, Mama. Yes, you do. And we love you for it. Elephant, also you choose to be a public figure. You also choose drugs, alcohol, adultery. No one's forcing it. Exactly. They made their choices. But let's face it, most of us that watched it unfold knew it was going to blow up at some point. Was there a little copium on our part? Maybe. Through the loyalty. Maybe I should have yelled at him earlier. I don't know. Maybe I should have said something earlier. I don't know. I can't go back and undo it. Those are my fuck ups. But again, it wasn't my life, and I didn't have eyes or ears inside the house to see what was going on. I had to take things at face value. I still take things at face value. I still believe in Nick. I believe that he's, in his heart, he's a good guy. He just fucked up. That happens. We're human. I've made so many mistakes in my life. If I was to hold against him, especially not knowing what mistakes were actually made, who am I? Like, what type of person does that make me? But I'm not going to go and do streams where I like completely put him down or whatever and take all his dirty laundry and throw it out there and go, here, this is what I know. Because believe me, if I did that, I'd surpass so many people when it comes to subs, because I know a lot. And it's his business, nobody else's. I won't share what I know. I don't want to capitalize on it. I don't. If I wanted to use him to get ahead, I would have used him when he offered to come on my show all the time. He's like, "We'll get you up there." No. I will do it on my own. I will crash and burn or succeed on my own. And I'm mad at him. I am. I'm mad at him for being human, I guess, and for being a flawed human and not seeing it or not admitting it or not whatever. And I'm mad because I kind of miss him. I miss our conversations at, God, weird times, 2:00 in the afternoon, 4:00 in the morning, but I mean, we had strange schedules. We still have strange schedules. I miss my friend. I do. But he's busy. He's got his own shit to take care of, and I got to respect that. I don't have to like it, but I got to respect it. And he is taking care of his shit. Is he saying shit he shouldn't? Yeah, probably, but he's Nick. It's what he does. I mean, he didn't get popular for being non-controversial. He didn't get popular for not literally saying everything out loud that nobody else wants to say. He got popular by just being Nick, by calling people out. He just isn't great at self-reflection. Or at least maybe he is, but doesn't want to put it on the internet, which is his right. It's his right. I feel bad. I wish I could do anything to improve his situation, but I can't. All I could do is constantly tell him, I'm on your side. I believe in you. I love you, and I'm praying for you and your family. That's all I can do. And not partake in the negative talk about him. Because I don't want to do that. Why would I? Even if I hated him, I wouldn't do that. I don't even do that about the friggin' jackass from before. Do I call him a jackass and a gay amphibian? Yes, I do, because that's as far as I'm willing to take that. But do I talk about his shit? No. No. Because it's his life. That's his problem. And I'm not going to add to it or detract from it. I'm just not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it alone. And that's what I don't get. All these people just, instead of just leaving it alone, because I'm sure their lives are not perfect, they would rather put somebody else in the spotlight and make them, make their content all about how shitty they are. Or how, like, oh, they're liars and they're like, you never lied. Oh, they're a fraud, like you've never been phony. Oh, they did this and they did that, like you've never done that. Give me a break. Maybe you didn't, like do on their level, but I'm pretty sure there are skeletons in your closet too. So just remember, when you spit in the wind, eventually it will come back at you. So, and you said, when I was drinking every night and finally hit that bottom, that's what I was changing for. I wasn't being a great mom. I wasn't being an abusive asshole to my 4-year-old, but there was some neglect. And who could be present hungover or drunk every day? No, I get it. I get it. And that's what I'm saying. We've all been not so shiny and perfect. But yet there are people out there who, especially on YouTube, who celebrate and revel and benefit in the missteps of others. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me. And it's just so mean. Iron Rabbit said, I love Nick when he did legal analysis. Now I just pray for him and his family. And you know what? That's the best thing you probably can do. Honestly, just to not engage and just give them that silent support. Because I'd rather silently support you than verbally castrate you. I mean, really. Suzanne said, I love you, Shelly, but this is beyond fucked up. He refuses to admit he's got a problem. So until he gets over himself, I'm not supporting him. My concern is the children. Sorry if that affects it. Why would that affect us? Again, this is another thing. The reactionary thing out there. Just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean there's a problem. Like, you're allowed to have your opinion the same way I'm allowed to have mine. And yeah, my concern is for his kids too, but his kids are fine. They gave the kids back. The kids seem fine, whatever. Like, yeah, but he has a problem admitting that he has issues, but that's not different. He's always done that. That's not new. So, I mean, I'm not saying you have to promote him or support him. Don't. Just, I hate that there are people out there with a voice, Suzanne, with big voices who shit on him. Like, if he's already drowning, why open up the tap on top of his head? Like, that makes you the shitty person. Yeah, is it making their screw ups like spotlighted? Yes. But what kind of a person are you who likes to dump on somebody who's already like dying inside? I mean, really. I mean, if you want to look at it, the career, the friendships, the relationships, the reputation, all just dying a slow death. You know, why would you add to that? And I'm not saying you are, but we don't have a problem. You can have whatever opinion you want. I have no problem with that. I think we should have differences of opinion and we should talk about them if we can with, you know, love in our heart and a civil tongue. But as long as we're not like maligning each other, I don't care what your opinion is. Like, you're allowed to have a different opinion. I'm glad you have a different opinion. It means you think for yourself. I'm proud of people who do that. So don't worry about that. We're cool. Uh, where else am I going to get sex education? Fucking rabbit. The fact that came from you is hilarious. It's surprising. She likes to give those zingers once in a while. Wolfram, that's a valid point. It's Suzanne, and you're entitled to your opinion. Nothing wrong with that. Exactly. Yeah, I'm running back and forth doing stuff, and I see I'm not in trouble in my absence yet. No, it's all right. I'm used to people popping in and out. It's fine. I'm used to the in and out. Inya, weasels are rarely nice to people that can smell a weasel. I mean, tell me who you hang out with, I'll tell you who you act like. That's what my grandmother used to say. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Unless they're trying to use them. That's true too. Like I said, this was not going to be a popular stream. And my opinion probably wouldn't be popular, but I'm tired. I'm tired. They heard about the thing with Joe and people ran with it. And then they're like, oh, you know, Joe said this about that person. Joe. Well, you know what? Joe's got hurt feelings because Joe feels betrayed. I would lash out too a little bit if somebody was like talking shit about me all the time. I'm pretty sure I did. A little bit. That's why I tried to keep quiet because I knew anything I said when I was in my hurt mindset or my betrayed mindset or I was untrusting and I was honestly just fucking fragile. It wasn't going to be good and it wasn't going to be a permanent type of thought. It was a temporary feeling that maybe I shouldn't have fucking voiced. So I shut up. And this whole thing, I've shut up for months and months and months. But now this thing with Joe, I love me some good logic. Love Joe. Okay, are you telling me that everybody that supported him and liked him and whatever, they found all these reasons to find him being a good guy? He's a good guy. And a business decision that was made that maybe or maybe not was good or bad or whatever almost a decade ago, that little thing is going to change your entire opinion of somebody that you followed for like the last 2 years? Really? Are people that fickle? Is it that easy to like break your brain to where you're just like, oh no, I can't. He's a fraud. And shut up. Oh my goodness. Joe has never been anything but good to me. I know he made a comment about a small channel punching up or something, whatever. I think that was said in the heat of the moment. We all say things that we don't really mean and that we regret or that we'd be like, that was a thought that should have stayed in my head. Yeah, we all do that. But let me tell you something. Joe has many times offered to help. He goes on Winnings sometimes, and he gets him the boost he needs because Winnings channel, let's face it, with what Winning talks about, he's not extremely popular because YouTube don't like what he has to say. He really don't. They really, really don't. So he gets buried. They take down his biggest videos. After they've already approved them, after they've been through the whole copyright, whatever, and he won whatever. Oh no, we looked at it again. Now we changed our mind. You assholes. Like, that's just what they do. But Joe's offered to come on here. Hell, Joe tried popping in here one day. He was like, he just popped into my chats and send me a link. I sent him a link, and unfortunately he wasn't at home. He was moving around. And I couldn't get him. Like, he showed up. He was in my backstage, and he kept losing the Wi-Fi signal. So that one didn't, pan out. But it's not like he didn't try. And I mean, you don't get many channels smaller than mine. But he wanted to come on just to hang out, just to talk, because we were talking about like the lawsuit against Mershon, Judge Mershon, and I was saying, support Joe, whatever. He didn't have to pop in here. Who the hell was listening to me? 20 people, maybe. But he was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna go over there and hang out with Shelly." He always recognizes me in chat. Always. And I don't always have to send it to. Usually I send them $5 and say, just send you some love, shekels to send some love. And he laughs. He went through my entire tarot card reading that I did of him on his show. And he was like, "Oh my God, I feel naked." Like, and he didn't know it was me. So he does give like a lot of props to the smaller channels. He gave Fair and Balanced so much airtime, it was ridiculous. She wouldn't have had half her subs if it wasn't for her going on the show. And how'd she repay him? She went on there and tried to get him taken down by bringing up Fauci and everything, when she knew that just those words, COVID and vax and Fauci, would get your stream taken down. And she did it on purpose because she was in a mood because her stream got taken down, and she went on there to bomb his. That was not right, because he's never been anything but nice to her. So that was the last nail in the coffin for her, because I already didn't fucking like her. But that was it for me. He's a good guy. Did he make a bad business decision? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit about the law. I don't know shit about business, obviously. But do I know about Joe? I know what I see. I've had conversations in private with Joe, like little conversations here and there. I know what type of person he tends to be. If I ask him for anything, he's no problem. Boom. So yeah, I like Joe. So turning around and calling him a fraud, you're fucking with somebody's reputation. That ain't right. And then to see like a whole bunch of people calling him the Jew, this, the Jew, that's not right either. Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you? I'm not Jewish, but I mean, I'm Italian. I know what it's like to have somebody like attribute everything I've ever done and go, "No, I'm not mafia. Go fuck yourself." Oh, well, she's one of those. She's one of what? Go ahead, say it to my face, because I know you won't. Like, come say it to my face. And that's what I hate. That's what I hate about YouTube. The cowardice. Because they have online bravery, but the balls don't exist in real life. They just don't. And it pisses me off when they just, everybody jumps on one person. It's like, oh, free for all. Fuck off. How is that any different than getting bullied? I mean, really. Because there's no defense. If you defend yourself, you're delusional. If somebody else defends you, they're, like, oh, they're, what did they used to call them? Oh my God, my words are failing me. Oh, they're simping for them. Oh, they're just simping for them. Oh, they're in the Bulldovers. Like, first of all, the Bulldog was gross, but whatever. Like, it was funny in the beginning, and then it just got a life of its own and became this gross thing, but whatever. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that he said on his streams, that Nick said on his streams. I don't. Some of it I would sit there and be like, Nick, oh my God. And some of it was just funny because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Oh my God. Like, that's what amused me. The fact that he was so far out there. And I was like, unbreaded. Everybody, they loved unbreaded. Do you think that was a nice segment? It wasn't. It wasn't. Was it funny? Oh, hilarious. But was it nice? No. Not in any way, shape, or form. But we were amused by it. So that degeneracy, oh, that's okay. Him being in that mindset, that's okay. But when he stepped out of that and people started saying, oh, look what he did, then it became a big fucking deal. Well, you know what? There's a simple thing. Just walk away. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to bury him deeper. Just walk away. Shut the fuck up and walk away. Many have done that. I did it for a long time. I even told him, I was like, I can't watch you right now. I can't. He was like, I get it. I was like, it just bothers me. I can't fix anything. I can't get through your thick skull. And I don't really know what's going on. And I don't want to make a judgment call. So I'm just going to step away for a little bit, deal with my shit, because I have problems too. And we'll see where we end up. But if you need me, I'm here. He knows that. He could text me any moment and I'll be like, what's up? What do you need? What's going on? You need to talk. You need to laugh. Just point me in the right direction. Because I think he's got enough coming down on his head. Did he facilitate that? Did he enable, his whole life to just fall down like a house of cards? Yeah, of course he did. But, I mean, I could say the same thing about me having a kid at 21. I made decisions that changed my life course. Were they bad? To some people, they were horrible decisions. I have a daughter I love. I have a son I love. My bad decisions wound up pretty good for me in that respect. But I had to sacrifice a lot in the other areas to appreciate and have what I have with them. And a lot of people look at my life and they're like, oh God, what a loser, what a failure, what, and they can pile on and they can talk shit and they can make me feel bad about myself. What is that going to do? Is it going to make me go, oh, that's a wake up call. Let me get up and be better. No, it's going to push me down until I start harming myself further the way I do it. Everybody has different ways of self-destructing. But yeah, like jumping on somebody when they're already down is just going to push them down further. Why would you want to be that person? Why do any of us want to be that person that jumps on somebody who's already defeated? Who's already feeling like nothing is going right, like everything in their life is just crumbling around them. Why would you add that to that misery? Why do you want to be that person? Does it make you feel powerful? Does it make you money? Because money comes and goes. And believe me, what goes around comes around. These people need to learn that karma is a patient bitch. And they're going to cry and bitch and moan when they fuck up and it goes out there and destroys them. And it will. Because the more popular you get on here, the more people scrutinize you. The more people want to see you fall. They love nothing more than to watch the destruction of another human being. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm a sap. Maybe. Maybe I'm a doormat. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, gullible, stupid, whatever. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. You know what I know I am? I know that I'm a good friend and I know that I'm loyal. And I know that if any of these people turned on me or abandoned me or maligned me, I'd react probably with silence because I have tons and tons of information on people and it would kill me to betray my own principles and put that out there. It really would. You have to be the lowest life form for me to do that. Because I value the trust that people put in me. It means something to me. It means everything to me. That I didn't do this channel to become a millionaire. I did this channel to heal myself and hopefully help other people heal themselves. So jumping on people who are wounded, I mean, look at him. He's literally the walking wounded. That's not fair. And then you look at somebody like Joe, who I adore as well, who's a good person. And a good, maybe he's not a great lawyer or whatever. I don't know. I've never seen him practice. But is his analysis of the law good? Yeah. I enjoy watching his streams. I don't love the ones where he has people on and they do the voices. I think those are a little corny. And he doesn't pick people that are right for those roles. But I mean, I like his show. I like his takes on things. I love when he rants. I love a good Joe rant. I love Greater Logic, his dad. His dad is amazing. Like, I love his stories. So to see people, talking shit about him and throwing his religion in his face and just being really cruel and nasty, it infuriates me. It really does. And no, I am not putting Meme in that category. I don't put him in that category at all. I listened to his thing on Joe. Was it nice to say he's a fraud? No. But, he said, I don't know. I heard him say multiple times, I don't know. Is Joe a good boy? We think Joe is a good boy. But he basically said, like, okay, this is like a fuck up here. Something happened here. He knows that something is not right there. And he brought it out. Was it great to make it public? No. Was somebody else gonna? Yeah, they were. And unfortunately, it was him. But it is what it is. But he didn't make it like about him being Jewish. He didn't make it about him being, a shyster. He didn't make it about him being a degenerate. He didn't malign him, really. But he did bring it to light, which I could see where Joe would get a little crabby about that when he's trying to deal with it in private. It's really hard to have anything private when you're a public figure. It really is. You have to assume that anything in your past is going to come up. And you have to be willing to own it. Okay. Is it pretty? Is it nice? Do you want to do it? No. Is it required? Yeah, pretty much. And that's the ugly side of streaming. Anything you have out there, the slightest hiccup could turn into a huge thing. And it depends on how you address it. And then, of course, other people, like Joe said something in the heat of the moment. Nobody has any grace to forgive him for having all his shit put out there and maybe reacting with some words that he might regret or maybe that he should have kept in his head. No, right away they turn on him. And there's one streamer in particular, well, two, who really are they're just two-faced and they're just opportunists. And I'm not going to say who they are because fuck them. I'm not going to give them any more publicity than they need. I can't stand them. But yeah, you take somebody who used to be a friend and then you just shit all over them because what? They said something in the heat of the moment because they were upset that their stuff was put out in public. Come on now. Come on. I mean, first of all, it's not your business. Second of all, shut the fuck up. Anyway. Let me go back. The kid tested positive for coke. Come on, okay, I'm gone. Suzanne, you know what? I get that. I get that. But again, people jump into conclusions. We don't know about the test results. We don't know what's going on. 1 out of 5 give me a break. Like, anything could have happened. I don't know the specifics. It's not my business, that part. I'm not saying I'm encouraging that or I'm supporting that. I'm saying I'm supporting my friend because, yeah, he fucked up. But do I want to hang him out to dry for it? No. And the fact that you don't want to like just stay or you're turned off by what I say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I really am. But I'm going to put my opinion out there whether people like it or not. And you're welcome to come in here and be nice about it and like state your opinion. As long as we're civil to one another, it's fine. But to just be like, all right, blah, 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 and then leave, that's a little, it's a little irritating. It is, but it's your choice. I'm sorry you feel that way. I hope you come back soon and, we could talk about something else. Elephant, I don't enable people with addiction. That's my line. You have addiction, get off your fucking ass and deal with your shit. Absolutely. I'm in agreement. You and your family are worth it. I hope this helps somebody. Absolutely. No, I agree with you, Ellie. Deal with your shit. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to turn around and shit on you while you're trying or attempting to deal with your shit. I'm going to do the thing in the background going, come on, smarten up. Look, this is how it looks. This is what we know. You could do this. You could do that. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? I'm praying for you. I care about you. You're a better person if you do this. Just taking away the support doesn't help them if they're your friend. If you're a creator and you just want to, if you're following a creator and you want to leave, just leave. Go ahead. But to add to their misery, it's cruel to me. Yamaha at Wolfram, how dare you? I'm as innocent as a driven pure yellow white snow. Okay, you got me. White snow. You would bring that up during this damn podcast. Iron Rabbit said everybody makes mistakes. That's what makes us human. I am so far behind in chat. Elephant, hun, compassion is one thing, enabling is another. I know. I get that. I do get that, and I don't enable him. So believe me, if you saw the private chat, I don't enable him. But I am gonna you're better than this. Come on. Like, you can do better. Like, talk to me. And sometimes they feel better if they do have somebody to talk to, because they're not actually talking to you. They're really talking to themselves and just processing it through conversation with you. Some people don't realize, they can't see where they've been. How many times you guys have listened to me go over a memory and go, oh my God. Oh my God, I get it now. Like, I'll see where I fucked up or where somebody else fucked up or where the problem happened, because I'm processing it out loud to you. Because in my head, there's so much in my head and so much going on in my life. I can't see, like I said, I can't see the forest for the trees. But when you talk about it in a nice, like, honest way with somebody, even when you're trying to defend yourself, when you find you don't have a defense, that tells you something. That tells your brain, oh, wait, there's a glitch in my matrix. I got to work on that. And they're little things that they shift the puzzle pieces around until eventually you see the actual big picture. But you need to be able to talk to people outside of the situation you're in to get a valid, clear picture. Because if everybody turns on you and the only people who are talking to you are your enablers, that's the only picture you're going to see, because that's the only information and feedback you're getting. And you keep having the same conversation over and over and over. And it's just an echo chamber around and around and around and around and around. So if you have people outside, might you fight with them? Yes. You're going to push back. You're going to get pushback. You're going to get blowback. But I mean, if that person is worth it, you stick it out and you fight them. Hold on. So yeah, sorry about that. I had a knock on the door. Where was I? Oh, if you're just talking in an echo chamber, you're not getting the input you need to see yourself as you really are. They're keeping you in an altered state of reality. You're not seeing the world for what it is. You're not seeing your life and your actions and your words for what they are. You need to talk to people outside of that who are going to fight you, who are going to piss you off. You might become enemies with them, but it's going to stick in your craw and it's going to get in your brain and they're going to plant the seed. And you hope and pray that something you said gets through to that person, even a pinprick of light gets through, so that they smarten the fuck up. You want them to hit that rock bottom and bounce back. You don't want them to hit rock bottom and go, gee, I wonder if it goes lower than this, and then find out. So I get it, Ellie. You're absolutely right. Don't enable, but do give your support, because they need that outside feedback. They need that outside stimuli to get them out of that little, cycle that they're in, that cycle of self-abuse or self-denial. I think they need that. Ellie said, also, whoever is making fun of someone's religion is gross. I cannot tell you how upset I was at the chat when they were just, it was bad. It was bad to the point where my heart hurt. Like, I actually had pain in my chest because it was so hateful. And it was just like, are you kidding? Like, where do you get off? They think, oh, I'm being edgy and funny. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're being everything that is wrong with the world. Like, oh, it really hurt my heart, Ellie. It really did. Look, I got tears in my eyes because it was bad. Maybe they don't think it's bad because they're used to, like, making fun of people for whatever. But it came across really, really hurtful for me. Really hurtful. I'm on the computer. I could tag your asses now. Uh-oh, watch out. Ellie's on the go. I should tag Diane Rabbit first with the with the huggy love thing. Oh, you're so cute. Heidi said LOL at Elephant and 100% on several of your points. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're in agreement. Shelly is not ignoring chat. Shelly was trying to get her point out. Thank you, sir. May I have another Animal House? Alrighty. Yamaha. He's pulling it out and showing it, though. Wait, that sounds right. Well, the point is he's showing and talk about it. So, yes, and like I said, he needs to learn to shut the fuck up. And I tell him, shut the fuck up. I tell him, shut up all the time. But it just don't get through. Like, he's just sitting there going, I don't speak your language. Not sounding better. Yeah, I know. I know. Shelly ignores chat. 30 minutes behind. For shame. I know. Usually I'm a whole hour behind. I'm only 50 minutes behind right now. I appreciate a good shitpost. Trolls only if they're quippy and not nasty mean. Exactly. Like, remember when Sean D. Sarcasm used to come around? He was a troll. And he used to ask questions just to fuck with us. And the thing is, he didn't expect us to sit there and give him, like, honest philosophical answers. And he was just like, oh, I like it here. And he just would hang out and he would be fine. And he would still be a troll. He'd call me Trish. And then, like, when he left, I was like, he'd come back and visit. I'd be like, you called me Shelly. How dare you? Yeah, because I was used to calling me Trish. It was our thing. So I learned to appreciate my trolls. I like my trolls. I do. That's why they hang around. And then you get, like, the mean trolls. I don't go back at them. Like, usually they'll say something, like, really nasty, and I'll just thank them and be like, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for giving me your opinion. I appreciate that. And then they don't know what to do. They're just like, what the fuck? She was supposed to yell at me or whatever. No, I don't feed the trolls. I'll engage with you, but I won't feed you. Which is weird because I'm Italian. I want to feed everybody. Yamaha at Ellie. She's on a roll. I like it when she gets excited. Gives me a shuddering in my nethers. I should have put a disclaimer in the description that this was going to be ranty. It was going to be ranty. Because I'm just aggravated and I need to get it out so it doesn't bother me and I don't take it out on the people around me. Because that's how I use the internet. To get everything out so I can be a more pleasant person in, 3D life. Because I don't want to have all this stuff in my head and then it builds up and then I explode on the wrong fucking person. I'd rather explode on all of you. No, not on you, but with you. That don't sound right either. And Yamaha's going to have a great time with that. But I just say stupid shit. In my mind, I'm the funniest fucker in the room. Always. Always. Like this stream seemed like a good idea, but apparently it pisses a couple people off. And you know what? I can't do anything about that. I'm not going to be fake and hold things back because other people don't agree with me. You could disagree with me. It doesn't make you a good or a bad person. It just makes you disagreeing with me. Like, that's it. You can have a difference of opinion and not be a shit person. Like, it doesn't make me a piece of shit because you and I don't agree on something. Yeah. If I turn around and like put you down and belittled you for it, that would make me a piece of shit, maybe. But just disagreeing, no, we're allowed to think what we think. We all have different experiences, and a lot of people like to run with things that they don't always have the inside scoop about. Maybe, just maybe, I have more information than some people, but I'm not willing to share that because it's nobody else's fucking business. From let's see if this gets her attention to chat. I mean, see, and now I gotta play this thing. I can't play the new thing that Winning did from, well, I could if I wonder, can I mute it? I can't mute it. Damn it. All right, well, I'm gonna get demonetized for this. Well, it's fine. So that was for Wolfie, because I know he did that so he could see the boobies. Boobies! But the last time I played it, I got 2 claims, not strikes, claims. So I had to edit that out later on, which is fine. Wolfkinder, hi, honey. Silly, how you doing? I have been better. I've been worse, but we're good. Just call Shelly circle back Saki. Don't. Why you calling me that? I don't like Saki. Hey you. Don't get too excited. My ego is big enough. Ooh. Oh. La 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 la. You like my twin? He's such an a-hole. Yeah, your twin is the asshole, right? Okay. You do know you're not on Have a Story right now. You're actually as Yamaha Biker. Just saying. Which one is the nice twin of those? Winning has a twin. He's what is it called? Winning Sir Reality. I always have a hard time saying that name. I don't know why. It's too big to fit in my mouth. La 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 la. I'm just gonna leave that there. Inumers. Oh no, is he a Yamaha amplifier? Oh my goodness, that's funny. Do I have to quote Pooh Bear to you again? No, God, please, no. Oh, they're so cute. I love when you guys play with each other in chat. It has nothing to do with me, but you're funny going back and forth and back and forth. Shelly needs throat lube. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. See, they put the heat on. I have dry throat, and nobody wants that. He keeps jump scaring me in the mirror. That's funny. Iron Rabbit, I still love Darth. We all love Darth. I know people don't understand that I love Darth, but they don't understand why. And I'm like, that's because you don't really know him. Like, you only see what he lets you see. And is he a dick and an asshole? Yeah. And I'm a bitch and I could be a real tinsel twat. Like, it depends. We all have negative traits. But you don't always, that's not everything you are. I mean, if you're going to cut everybody into like these groups of black and white and right and wrong and evil and good and perfect and, devilish, like, you're not going to talk to anybody because everybody's going to have to jump from circle to circle to circle to circle because nobody's everything consistently, like 100% of the time. You're going to deviate. No matter how good you think you are, the odd curse will slip out. No matter how saintly you think you are, you will have a degenerate thought every once in a while. Now, to act on them is different. But to have the thought, like I said, you can't control your thoughts. Your thoughts are literally just your brain taking random things, putting them together, trying to make sense out of them, and giving you a thought so it can process it and get it the fuck out. It's literally like putting it through a shredder. Unfortunately, we all read everything before it goes into the shredder. So, yeah, you're aware of all your thoughts, but that's not necessarily your thought. It's not a conscious thought. It's more of a like leftovers. Like when you take a bunch of leftovers and make a weird looking casserole, thoughts can be like that. They just appear out of like nowhere. They don't mean anything. You got to let them go. Now, if you speak about those thoughts and you act on those thoughts and you give belief to those thoughts, that's different. And that could be a problem. But that's why we're discerning humans. That's why critical thinking is a thing. You know, you can use logic and separate yourself from the bad thoughts and the emotional reactions and whatever. It just takes a lot of effort. I had to be the yin to your yang. I had to be the yang to your yin at Iron Rabbit. Alrighty. Inyamur said, he randomly sends me music and it always fits with something going on. He does that to me too. I love that. It's so weird. He's oddly accurate about songs. Like he's like, I know you'd never listen to this, but here it fits. And I'll listen to it and go, oh, holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I never would have found that on my own. But I love when people do that. You guys put stuff in my music channel and in Discord all the time that I'm like, oh my God, this song, like it's speaking to me. He sent me one of them that had me hysterical about, I can't remember the name of it. It was something about, you know, fuck with Jesus, but don't fuck with me or something like that. I forget. But it was funny. It was hilarious. And it was so accurate and like apropos. It was, yeah. So they'll hear nothing for a month. Yeah. And that's the thing with Dart. Sometimes he'll message you like 15 times in one day and then you don't hear from him for like 6 weeks. And you're like, what happened? I'll see random Twitter posts and I just like the Twitter post just to remind him that I'm here. Like, hey, I'm still watching you. But the only show that I think that he does is with somebody that I can't stand the voice of, so I can't listen. And plus, that person talking about religion is just, I can't. Elifant, I only knew of the drinking and thought it was just on stream. If I had known the other shit, I never would have watched this channel. Yeah, because I mean, you get attached, you learn to invest in people. And that's, I think, where a lot of people where they get their extreme reactions, because they feel like they know these streamers and they feel invested because they've invested so much time and money and they found so many commonalities and inspiration in many points. Because let's face it, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Nick. He convinced me that I could. You know, and if I hadn't done this, did I see any kind of like success like he had? No. Did I have personal success where I killed many of my inner demons and put a lot of my traumas to rest? Yeah. Could I have done that without you guys? No. I had the right community. I had the right ambiance, the right environment, and the right medium to do what I needed to do for me. And hopefully it helped other people. And I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at if I hadn't started streaming. And I wouldn't have started streaming unless he inspired me to do that and convinced me that I could. Convinced me that getting on here and voicing my opinion and, you know, telling about my troubles and my trials and whatever, that would be good for me. You know, he convinced me that I could do that. And without that, I wouldn't have winning. I wouldn't have a lot of things. I'd probably be dead by now. Because let's face it, I was really, really sick. And with the meds they were giving me, I was going into a worse and worse mind place. Like I was getting more and more destructive, self-destructive, because I had no control over anything. And I couldn't see anything the way it was. Everything I saw was through that very medicated lens. And it's not an excuse, it's an actual reason. Like everything I was taking set it up your chances of committing unalivement. So it's like, what the hell? So yeah, of course, my depression was getting worse. My pain was getting worse. The worse the pain got, the more I hated myself, the more I hated my life, the more self-destructive I got. And I got through that with you guys and with winning. And I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't have listened to Nick when he was, pretty much just getting drunk instead of like everything else. But without him, I wouldn't have had that. So yeah, does that get an extra bit of loyalty from me? Yeah, it probably does. It probably gets him a lot more grace with me than I would with just some random streamer that I didn't know about. Did having conversations with him, did him, praying with me, which he's done. Did that keep me like more loyal? Probably. Because he showed me different sides to himself. And they weren't all good. Believe me, they weren't all good. But there's a good man in there somewhere. He's fallen off of his path. And it's sad. It's sad to see, but I'm not going to turn my back on him. I'm not going to, tell him he's doing a great job, because I don't tell him that, but I'm not going to abandon him either. I mean, that would make me a pretty shitty individual, because I'm his friend. I'm not just watching another creator because I'm his friend, because we developed a personal, connection. But like I said, right now, I just kind of want to punch him in the neck a couple dozen times and tell him smarten the fuck up. But it's not my place to do so. I'm not going to support him, but I'm not going to shit on him either. I just keep telling him, what are you doing? I'm praying for you. You need prayer. Like you need Jesus. Let's go. Ellie and Iron Rabbit showing the love. Look at that. I'm only 45 minutes behind. If your ego gets too big, I'll bring it back down to earth. Iron Rabbit. Can we have that on stream and you can make money? Make like for every line where you take him down a peg, we'll send super chats. You would have tons of money for your farm. YouTubes are mini celebrities. The bigger the fame, the bigger the mistakes, the bigger the fall. Absolutely, Wolfkinder. Absolutely. And the thing is, they all rose up together and then they all turned on one another. And it was like, Jesus. And that's the thing about the big communities. Like, oh, you don't invite me on your show? Oh, I'm not inviting you on my show. Me. And it just gets so petty and so stupid. There are so many things in this world that need like attention and need to change and need people's voices to like bring light to. This kind of petty bullshit is ridiculous. It's like, all right, he did all this. Does it affect you? Is it going to affect your life? Why don't you focus on something that's going to affect your life? Like, I don't get it. But it is, I mean, I get it. They're doing it to make money and, get the clicks or whatever. It's content. Everything is content. And Nick is the same way. I'm not saying that he never does. He benefit off other people. I'm saying I don't like it. And I don't like the frequency of it. And they all do it to one another. And you know what? That's their shtick, whatever. But I don't have to like it. I rely on that. I miss our battery and jumper cable time. Ooh. Well then. Yamaha biker. Want the name of my cardiologist? Oh, fucking Rabbit's hilarious. He's hit me with the battery cables a few times. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, cardio vert sucks for the person, especially if they aren't doped up. Yeah, it really does. And you said, who's being mean to Joe? Grabs her shovel. Meme was pretty fair. Meme copium was fair. His chat was being just assholes. I mean, if you go watch his stream, which I mean, you should, but they're just all just rah, 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 rah. And it's like, okay, it's too much. Iron Rabbit said Joe is a good man. Mistakes happen. Absolutely, absolutely. Ellie Fon said at Inyamars, Sean found a legal thing about Joe's collection business having illegal practices and being fined. I just assumed that all collection agencies are garbage. I don't think Joe is, though. Exactly. I mean, this thing is, I believe I might have a year or two off, but I think it's like 8 years old. So this is not something that was just like, oh my God, it just happened. This is something that happened 8 years ago. He wasn't on YouTube 8 years ago. He was just starting with his collection thing, whatever. Like he owned that company. People make bad business decisions. They make mistakes. Whatever. Like it happened. And he's still fighting it. The fact that he didn't just capitulate and pay the guy means there's something there. Like, and they keep bringing up the whole, it was the day after Christmas. Okay, it was the day after Christmas for like you, but not everybody gives a shit if it's the day after Christmas. That's very much a religious holiday. Do they care about their religious holidays? Yes. Do we care about our religious holidays? Yes. Do we care about the other ones? Not so much. Not so much. But they're making this big deal, and it's just feeding that whole, like, oh my God, it's because he's Jewish thing. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Because they might not realize that they're stirring that kind of like Jew versus Christian thing up, but they are by saying, "Oh, well, sent it the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas." Shut up! Oh my God! You know how many times I've been like, I had like, oh, who was it? Social Security actually, like the day after. Was it day after Christmas or the day after? I don't know. It was right after a freaking holiday that they were like calling me. And I was like, could you just leave me alone? Like, I'm just trying to enjoy my time. Like, it's 8:00 in the morning, the day after a holiday. I am tired. Like, they don't care. They have business. It's a business day for them. They do business. Why would that day mean anything to him? Could he have been more considerate or cognizant of it? Maybe. Was he the one who said specifically, send it out that day? I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I don't care because it's business and it happened once. And if he was in business all those years and this is the one thing that's out there and he knew it was out there, it was brought up before, but nobody like ran with it like they did this time because they like to call him a fraud. Oh well. Like people make bad business decisions. It happens all the time. It's not like he went all Bud Light. Oh, it just irritates the fuck out of me. Anyway, Inyamar's going to need a bigger shovel. Stop it. Oh, that tickled. Oh my God. Anyway, Iron Rabbit said good logic was my first ever super chat. Oh my goodness, was he? That's awesome. Rabbit, she said, thank you for saying what we are thinking. I mean, that's what I'm just saying what I'm thinking. And I hope that, you guys take it as it is. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm not trying to like malign anybody. I'm not trying to bolster anybody up and say, hey, but they're great. Support them, send them whatever. I'm just saying, I hate the fact that these were people who were friends who turn on each other for the slightest insult or the slightest pushback. If anybody's ever dealt with somebody whose life is falling apart, the last thing that person wants is for you to interject your opinion on their life, especially when you don't know the specifics or this and that and that. And I know they have information. I have information too. But that doesn't mean you know everything. You're not the expert on that person's life. The only person that knows the truth about what went on is that person. And like I said, there's this person's truth, there's that person's truth, and then somewhere in the middle is the actual truth. Because people are going to put forward a story with a natural bias. You're not going to throw yourself under the bus unless you're really like a people pleaser or self-destructive. Like, you're going to try to put your best defense forward. And these are lawyers. Of course, they're going to defend themselves first. They're not going to say the thing that, you're like, say it, say the thing, do the confession. They're not going to do that. They are literally trained in their brain not to do that. That's what I don't get. Everybody's like, oh, well, he won't admit. He's a lawyer. He's not going to admit shit, even to himself. He's not wired that way. That's why he became a lawyer. Because defending and arguing are the two things he's really good at. That's what they do. So why is everybody shocked and shaken that these guys are out here going, no, but this is what they're like, oh, they just keep giving excuses. No, they keep defending. That's what lawyers do. They keep coming up with threads to defend themselves. And they're going to go with every single one they could grasp onto. It's that whole thing. It's throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Because they're lawyer brained. That's the lawyer brain. If you're friends with a lawyer, you would know it's impossible to win an argument with them because they're constantly changing the fucking base of the conversation so that they're coming out ahead. So it's more favorable in their life. That's what they do. They're not even conscious of it most of the time, I don't think. I think they're just made that way. The same way I was made to be a teacher. Because I will like literally sit there and repeat myself 500,000 goddamn times until you get it. Is it annoying? Yes. Are you going to learn it? Or I'm going to die trying. You're going to learn it or I'm going to die trying. Like I will talk until I am blue in the face because that's what I do. I'll tell you, no, you can't do that. This is the right way to do that. And then I'll give you a hug and send you on your way with a cookie. Like that's just who I am. But am I also like, if you're fucking up, am I going to call you on it? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not going to do it in a humiliating way. I'm going to do it privately, the way it should be done, with love and care and respect. I'm not going to sit there and like make you feel like a complete fucking asshole because you did something wrong. Because then you're not going to hear a word I say. And now I get put on the enemies list. No, I would rather have a conversation with you and tell you, look, I'm here, but I don't agree with what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what I see. Now you might say it's different, but you're saying one thing, but this is what I'm seeing. So open your ears and just listen to how you are being perceived, not what you're doing. Get out of your head where you're like, but this isn't the truth. Yes, but it's perceived this way because the narrative is going this way and you're not helping it. You're actually throwing fuel on the fire without even realizing it. But you have to have those kind of conversations. If you go in and go, oh God, you're a fuck up, you're this, you're that, they're not going to listen to you. There's very little chance they're going to listen to you, even given it in the best way possible, because they can't yet. They're not there. But thank you for saying what we're thinking. Well, I think we need this for that rabbit. I love that one. I really do. I'm so glad he gave me that one. But thank you for your $2 super chat, Rabbit. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. Elifant, I don't send for anyone except my husband because he has a nice ass. There you go, girl. It's all about that booty. I get it. I'm an ass girl too. I am. Not like I had a boss that used to walk in front of me and he never understood why every time he walked past me, I would say a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Because he had the most luscious bubble butt. Oh my goodness. And he wore like really expensive suits. So his butt looked good in those pants. And he would walk past and I'd be like, thing of beauty is a joy forever. And he turned around one day. He goes, why do you say that? I was like, really? I'm not telling you. And he was like, but you always say that. And I'm like, mm-hmm. He goes, "Is that like your phrase?" I was like, "It's like your phrase." And the girls in my department were hysterical because they knew why I said it. Because if I said that, they were like, "Oh, Steen is here," and they'd look and be like, "Oh my god, look at that ass." But he didn't get it, and it was like, really? Are you that obtuse, or you just like the fact that I say it, so you're just gonna pretend you don't know why? So I keep saying it. It's like whatever. But yeah, no, girl, I get you. I will simp for a good ass. I will. True. I only, and that's the thing. I love when people are like, "Oh, you simp for," oh, shut up. Listen, I simp for one man and one man only, and he's an avatar. That's it. Like, I simp for an avatar. And I will fully admit that every single time. And I tell him to his face that I simp for, and he gets a kick out of it. Because not for nothing, he's just as big of a simp for me. So put that in your hat, all you fuckers. In your MERS. Could have been the people under him making those choices. You see, he no longer owns it, right? A little petty, if you ask me. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. If he was in business by himself, making every decision himself, that's one thing. He has to own that mistake. But there were a lot of different things. And there was a lot of things on the other side that the guy that this happened with, he wasn't exactly on the up and up. And he's done this before, apparently. So there's a lot of like moving parts of this that I think we don't understand. Somebody jumped on the one part and blew it up and made it into this big thing. And it pisses me off because Joe is a good guy. Now, if it turns out later on that he did this maliciously, I will definitely say, Joe, shame on you. Am I going to stop listening to him? Fuck no. Why would I? Why would I? Ellie said, first time I heard on Reddit, I thought I stumbled into a class meeting and I turned it off. Yeah, some days it was hard to take. Some days were really funny. Like the ones with like all the made up words, and the faster he said it, the funnier it was because Nick would get into like that whole like ranting cadence in that. And it turned out really good. I used to love when people would take turns because it was so much fun watching people try to like emulate the feeling of what they thought they were reading. It was hilarious. But was it right? No. It was wrong. And it was a very guilty pleasure for me. But that was Nick. That's what he did. I mean, he used to put on a Pope hat. I mean, how sacrilegious could you be? But yet they expected perfection from this man. And it's just like, no, like he made mistakes. Yeah. And were the kids involved? Yes. But once you're in that addictive or whatever place that they're saying he was in, which he might have been, he might not have been. Again, I wasn't there, so I can't definitively say. But once you're in that slope is slippery and steep, and it happens like that. There is no slow decline. It's you're fine one day, and a month later, you're a fucking like meth head or whatever. Like your teeth are rotting out of your mouth. It does legitimately happen that quickly. And you can't see what you're doing because your brain cannot make good decisions when you're like that. So everything that happened after, like, or within that, yeah, I would blame drugs. Allegedly. Like I said, I'm not here to be sued or hated or whatever, but I ain't put myself out to dry either. Gotta cover your ass. Gotta cover your ass legally. But yeah, if you're dealing with somebody who has any kind of addiction, could be a sex addiction. You got all those endorphins going through your head. Your body is not thinking about your responsibilities. Your brain is give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. And that's why they call it chasing the dragon, because it's never as good as it was the time before. So you need to up it. You need to increase it. That's why porn is so destructive. You know, watching two girls, go at it, you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But then the next time you watch it, it's not quite as exciting as it was the first time. So you gotta, let's see what else we can get them to do. Let's see what else I can find. So you're constantly upping the ante because you build up a tolerance to it. until you're at the point where you're doing crazy shit for an itty bitty high, and it's just, you don't even realize what you're sacrificing and who's suffering in the wake of what you're doing. They don't get it. They don't get that it's completely overwhelming and overtaking your brain and your senses and your common sense, your higher functions. You can't make high functioning decisions when you're in that type of a brain space. You can't. Now, is that an excuse? No, it's a reason. People keep saying the reason, oh, they're just excuses. No, there are legitimate reasons for why things happen the way they happen in the timeline that they happen. Now, your decision to start down that path, that's all yours. And then everything that comes after it, that's all yours too. But it's not yours alone. Because now you have this little addiction friend that's going to hold your hand and you're going to go through it together. And they're going to say, that addiction tells you, oh, come on, I'm so much more fun. Be with me. You don't want that boring life. You don't want to have to deal with this. This is stressful. That is stressful. That is stressful. But with me, you're happy with me. Choose happiness. That's the part of free will that kind of sucks, because you have things going on internally that help you make bad decisions because you think they're good decisions, because now I feel good. And if I feel good, it can't be wrong, right? Most things that feel good tend to lead down a bad path if you overdo everything in moderation. Some things you just shouldn't touch. I have a very addictive personality. Why I wouldn't take the fucking opioids from that damn doctor? It's why I don't drink on the regular. Believe me, there are many times I sit here and I'm like, oh God, I wish I was drunk right now, because it's the only way I could deal with this shit. And then I go, yeah, but you know what? When you're drunk, you're kind of an asshole. You're funny, but you're an asshole, and you go for walks. And right now that would kill you. So like I'd get eaten by a bear. I can't do that. So what do? I just don't have alcohol around me. I don't partake, because I know that I have a tendency to overdo. I just do. Like, if in for penny, in for pound, like that's how I grew up. Like, do a little bit, do a lot. What's the difference? If you're going to do it, do it. Go big or go home, right? These people, my mother, she'll have a beer every night, or she'll have her moonshine. Her husband will have a beer, or he'll have his moonshine or whatever. My daughter now likes these sparkling seltzer bullshits. It's like, whatever. I put a limit on her because she doesn't have the ability to not overindulge. So she's allowed to have one every other day. And I'd like it to be like once a week, but I'm willing to admit she's 29. But still, I still regulate how much she can have, and I make them regulate it, because I'm like, no, she does not have the ability to adjust her consumption of things. So you have to adjust it for her. It has to be regulated. She lacks the ability, because that part of her brain is gone. All right. It was affected. She has mental retardation. I don't say that to be mean. That is the actual term for it. I have it on paper. But, she has that. So we have to be that part of her brain. We have to be her supplemental support, where we tell her, no, this is it's bad. That's bad for you, Kate. Kate, you can't eat that. Kate, you can't drink that. Like, no, that's enough. No, that's too much. Like, we have to be there to be that observer who sits there and goes, hey, guess what? No. Like, you need to dial it back. Other people, they don't have that luxury of having that around them, or they're big enough or old enough or scary enough that nobody wants to say anything. None of us said anything when we saw it, because I think a lot of us didn't believe the decline. And then it happened so quick in those last 2 months. Like, it went from healthy to skeletal, that it was like, what the fuck just happened? I stepped away for like 2 weeks because I just couldn't take the just babble that was just coming out, because it was just pointless and it wasn't even funny. And I told him so. And when I came back, I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? Like, because I was gone for 2 weeks and I didn't see it. And I think if I would have stayed there 2 weeks, I probably wouldn't have seen the difference. That's what happens when you encounter somebody day to day to day to day. You don't always notice the differences. But if you step away for a couple weeks and come back, you'll, holy shit, what happened to you? Like, that's when you notice, and that's when you say something, and that's when it's too late. And I think that happened a lot in regards to Nick. But like I said, I love Nick. I love Nick. I will always support him, pray for him, give him all the care that I can, but I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, no, it's okay that you, no. Like, I want to punch you in the face right now. Like, smarten up. But he's working on it. And I'm not going to shit on the efforts that he's putting forward. You know, he's trying. It's not like he wants to keep going down that path. He's trying. And I got to give him a little credit for that. And if he deviates again, well, he'll get yelled at again. Yeah, it's just how it is. But I'm not going to turn my back on him just because of that. Like, I can't. But yeah, the unbreaded, I think that was a big red flag for everybody. We just chose to not see it because it was entertaining in a degenerate, like, really, like, guilty pleasure kind of way. Elephant, like I said, I assume all collection agencies are garbage, but not Joe. Yeah, no, I hate collectors. I do. I hate them. I was a collection agent, but not for a collection agency. I was a collector for an actual company where I just called them up and say, hey, you're 90 days due. Like, you owe me $4 million. Here are the copies of the invoices. Send me the check. That's what I did. It's part of, accounts payable, accounts receivable. But yeah, without me calling these companies, they wouldn't have sent millions of dollars of checks. Come on now. Like, they're going to put that off until you call up and go, hey, you owe me money. Don't make me hold your next, shipment. Oh, okay, I'll pay you right now. You better, because I'm putting your shipment on hold until the check gets here and clears. Like, that was my job. But I never, oh, you're going to jail. Like, all right, you owe me $2 million and I have, like a shipment that came in from China with like a 200-foot climbing wall for your next party that you're not going to get. And this is the only one out there. So I would really like my check. Oh, so I have to send it. Well, yeah, we did the services. You need to pay for them. Like, you got all your cargo. Send me this, send me the payment. But I mean, that's business. But actual, like, collection agencies where you sell your debt to somebody else for them to collect it, I hate them. I went through that with Katie's, a couple of her MRIs. They kept trying to get like a couple thousand out of me for them. And I was like, I'm not paying this. I was like, the insurance paid it. I have proof the insurance paid. Why are you trying to get double payment for it? No, you owe. And then I'm sitting there one day looking at the most recent letter they sent. And I called them up and I said, here's the thing. I am never going to pay you this money and you are never going to contact me again. You know why? Because I am not Catherine, whatever her name was. That's my daughter. They were like, yeah, well, your daughter is liable for the bill. I said, my daughter is 7. You are not allowed to send to that. Did you know that? They are not allowed to bill a child, anybody under 18, for anything directly. It has to go through their parent, through their guardian, because they're the ones that are liable for the payment. The moment they put her name on that invoice and sent it to me, they were never getting money. And I told the lady on the phone, I said, go ahead. I said, go do your due diligence. Ask your manager what I could do to you for you harassing my daughter through me in her name on all these documents. Go ahead. And she went away and she came back. She was like, I'm sorry, you won't receive any further phone calls or letters from us. I was like, you damn right I won't. You're lucky I don't sue you. And I never heard from them again. It was great. I felt so empowered. You know what it's like to tell off a collection agency and be right? Oh my God, what a rush. It was great. But yeah, that's in case you guys don't know that, that's something they're not allowed to bill your kids in their name. They're allowed to bill you for your kids, but they're not allowed to just put like on a collection letter or whatever. If they're under 18, they're not allowed to bill them. And you can call them up and tell them that. So yeah, that went away real quick. So that was actually like $6,000 that they were trying to get out of me. For no reason, because they were paid. I had Medicaid and everything. Like I had Medicaid on the phone so many times. Like, no, we processed everything. They got paid such and such and such. That for once, Medicaid actually gave me receipts. And it was just like, okay. And these people just kept going after it for years. It was like, God, she was 7. So for years they chased me for that money. And it was like, nope. And to put the icing on the cake, they didn't even use her legal name. They used a different, like they used my maiden name, but put it on her, and that wasn't her name. So they were actually billing a person who didn't exist. And that wasn't the name on her Medicaid, and it wasn't the name on her medical file. But what they did was they took my maiden name and put that as her last name, and they went forward with that. And it was like, no, see that's fraud. That's fraud. Because you manipulated the documents and the information to create a separate account so that you could say, oh, Medicaid paid for this person. This is a different person. That person doesn't exist. Stop it. I just had to get that out. Sorry, guys. Now I'm an hour behind. La, la, la. Inumers, which I have done as well. I've worked to change that, though. My inner Cartman sometimes slips out. Oh, my inner Cartman is alive and well. Wolfkinder, crowd mentality. People will cheer on stupid behavior, then act like what happened was so awful. Here, hold my beer moments. Yep. I try to stay neutral. I am Rabbit. You're always neutral, except when you're not. When you're not, we know something's really wrong. Same, but I'm mouthy with opinions. I love your opinions. I'm on my own side. That's true. And you should be. You should believe in the things that you say and defend them. But also be open to listen to, the opinions of others. I mean, I try to be there, but I've gotten a lot better at it. I just wish I could employ that mentality when it comes to talking to my son, because he can bring out the beast in me in a conversation. Inumers, I'm a hypocrite because I'm a mess in ways myself, but Shelley is right. And for a true friend, you wouldn't turn your back on someone with a problem. Nothing will change someone's behavior or addiction until they're damn good and ready, or have to have something drastic happen. There's a difference between support and enabling. Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's hard to see somebody I love struggle, and I can't stop loving them or encouraging them. Not close to Nick, but another family member. That's how it works, hon. He has to hit rock bottom and get himself out of his addictions. No one can steer him there. There are people in here with previous addictions who can tell you recovery comes from within. He doesn't want it yet. Exactly. And that's the thing. But I don't want to abandon him in the process, And I don't want to heap anything on it. Am I going to sit there and hold his hand and be like, oh, poor baby, it's going to be okay? No. Am I going to pray for him? Absolutely. Am I going to make sure he knows if he needs me, I'm here? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit there and, oh, cuckoo to you. Like, no. Inumers, I had to have help, AA therapy. Yeah. And rock bottom is different for everybody. Some people never have to hit rock bottom. They self-correct before then, so it's not like such a hard fucking landing. And there's some people who absolutely 100% will never hit rock bottom because they'll just keep digging themselves deeper. They're like, I hit the bottom, I have a shovel. And those are the ones you can't help. You can keep loving them, but you can't help them. And you can't enable them. You can't let them continue down that path and witness it. Sometimes you gotta just go, you know what? I need a vacation from you just for a little bit. I'm here, but I can't engage with you right now. I miss Sean D. Sarcasm Zero. Oh, Rabbit. I love Sean. I do. Hey, Trish. He's like, we used to have such a good time. By the way, did you guys see that Tish in Tennessee dropped in my chat the other day? Shows she might be coming back to YouTube. I'm very excited. I love me some Tish. I do. She knows history like, oh my goodness. She's a walking history book. Um, and she's a really sweet person. She had a lot of hard times hit her all at once. And I'm glad she's, getting back on her feet and getting back to it because I think she needs an outlet in your mirrors. But you're right, Ellie, you have to be receptive to it and want to change it. Absolutely. Ellie said there's a reason why court ordered things do not work. People have to want to do it for themselves. Yeah, absolutely. You can't force anybody to do anything. I've said that for so long. I'm like, that's one of my frustrations with my children. I'm like, listen, I grew you from a thought, literally. Like you were a twinkle in somebody's eye or somewhere else at some point, and now you're a human being, and I grew you. Why can't I get in your brain and make you do the right thing? Like, and it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I take away. It doesn't matter what consequence there is. You're going to do what you want to do because you're stubborn. And unfortunately, you got that from me and your father. But like, why can't I get in your brain and control you? Why can't I force you to do this? Force you to make the right decision, force you to study, force you to go get a job, force you to do this, force you to do that. Like, I can't. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating that people have free will. Because it's a great thing and it's still frustrating. It's infuriating when the little people belong to you and they want to make their own decisions and you're like, but that's the wrong decision. They're like, but it's my decision to make, but it's the wrong one. Like, it's like, I did that. God, I have all this experience. Why don't you listen? Because you don't know anything. Bitch, I have done everything you're even thinking of doing. And most of it was successful. But let me tell you where my screw ups were. Because I don't want you to make them. Like, if you're going to make mistakes, make your own mistakes. Don't repeat mine. Because that's just dumb. That's a waste of time. Like, I already made those mistakes. You know my mistakes. Why are you going to go do the same fucking shit? Why? Make new mistakes. Make your own mistakes. But listen to what I'm saying. They don't. It's la 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 la. My mother's an idiot. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, no. Because they think that I spent the last 50 years of my life sitting at this computer just talking to you guys and not out experiencing the world. If my kids knew a quarter of the shit that I've experienced, their hair would turn white. But they think like, oh, mom doesn't know. Mom's so out of touch. Mom's whatever. Like, go ahead. You're gonna make the mistake. All right. All I can do is sit here and go, I love you. I'm not gonna help you though. And if you fall, you better try to get up on your own because I'm not gonna help you out the gate. Nope. You're gonna have to struggle a little bit. When you absolutely need me, when I know, you can tag me in. But until then, this is your fight. You chose to do that. Well, it's on you. I'm not gonna jump in and be like, let me fix it for you. No. You're grown. You just told me I don't know shit. You went and made the mistake I told you not to make. Now you deal with it. And I'm going to sit here and be supportive. I might laugh at you a little bit because I told you so. But yeah, I'm not jumping in until you absolutely cannot do it on your own. Sorry. Like, you did this. You need to deal with it. And that's how people grow. That's how you mature. That's how you learn. But it's frustrating that they didn't listen to begin with. It's like, I told you, but I told you. I know you told me, but I didn't want you to tell me. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I was like that as a teenager. Couldn't tell me nothing. I knew everything. Isn't it funny? The younger you are, the more you know everything in the world. And then you get older and realize you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Even now, I'm trying to figure shit out. It's like, whatever. Heidi, adding you glad you sought help. My sister used to talk at and record conferences and does publishing for AA materials. Oh, that's interesting. I only know a couple people that went through AA. I mean, I know a lot more now, but like 3D people over here, like I only knew a couple. My friend Greg went through it and it really helped him. It saved his life. but it was a struggle. He wound up he became an alcoholic in the army, and he was away and he was very stressed, and he wound up, when he was like in better situations, he would drink himself into a stupor to forget things, whenever he had any kind of leave. And it became a thing that when he left the army, he did it every day. And then he couldn't function without it. He would go to work drunk. He would go to church drunk. He would go to his mom's barbecue drunk. And it became a problem. And the only thing that helped him was AA. And when I met him, he was 3 years sober. And he used to call me Sister Shelly, Sister Shelly. And the first time he said it, because I'd never heard, I knew nothing about AA in real life. I mean, I'd seen it on movies or whatever. And hi, I'm so-and-so and I'm an alcoholic or whatever. But I didn't know anything about like the lingo or whatever. And he was like, Sister Shelly. I was like, why do you call me that? He was like, it's something we do at AA. I was like, you call each other sister and brother? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm Brother Greg. I was like, I'm not calling you Brother Greg. He was like, well, you're not in AA. I said, so stop calling me Sister Shelly. Like, stop calling me Sister Michelle. Stop calling me Sister anything. Because not for nothing, it's really weird when we go out like to lunch and everybody's like, sister, 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 and everybody thinks we're related. We don't look a goddamn thing alike. And it's funny because you're sitting there like flirt with me, calling me sister, and people are like, whoa, like that's a little too, like, this is Kansas, not Arkansas. But it's, it was weird. It was just so fucking weird. But yeah, like he gave me like books on it and everything, because he was like, your husband's an alcoholic, right? I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, the problem is he don't know. And he was like, he knows, he's in denial. I'd love to talk to him. I was like, you want to get punched in the face? I was like, because he will. I was like, he is the most nonviolent person until it comes to his alcohol. I was like, I could do anything to him and he'd just be like, meh. But the minute I bring up alcohol or try to take it away or whatever, that's when Shelly gets a punch in the face. Like, he's violent about it. He will defend that like he will defend nothing else in this world. And I was like, he will punch you in the face. And he was like, well, I still want to talk to him. And he did. And they almost got physical and it started real gentle and, very like friendly and, and all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God. Like my daughter was like, why are they yelling? I was like, I don't know. I was like, just let's go out. I left them. I got my daughter. We went to the movies. I left them both in my apartment, and I was like, fuck it. If they kill each other, I'm not there. I have an alibi. I have my daughter. We're at the movies. La 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 la. Like, I didn't care. I was thankful that he tried, but it didn't do anything. And then after that, Brett just hated Greg. He was like, your friend, the freak, your friend who like thinks I'm an alcoholic. I can quit anytime I want. Yeah. My ex-husband, the last time I talked to him, told me that he was a recovering alcoholic, but he'd been sober for, I forget how long he said he was sober for. He was like, I totally gave up alcohol. I was like, that's awesome. He's like, all I drink is beer. I was like, that was a swing and a miss. Like, oh, you're so close. But yeah, to him, beer is not alcohol. And that's how these people with addictions stay in their addictions, because they redefine things in their mind. See, in his mind, I'm not an alcoholic, or I'm a recovering alcoholic because I don't drink the hard liquor anymore. Now I just get drunk on beer. But it's a different kind of drunk. He actually said those words to me. It's a different kind of drunk. Yeah, it's a different kind of drunk. Either way, you're still going to die. Your liver is going to just shrivel up and go, fuck you, and you're going to die. Or you're going to wind up driving like an idiot and killing somebody else. So, no, you still have a problem. You're still addicted. No, how much beer do you drink? Not a lot. Define a lot, because those are the answers that you get. You get the very vague, generalized answers. Oh, not a lot. What do you consider a lot? Well, I think like 2 cases is a lot. Okay, do you think 1 case is a lot? And they have to think about it, because they know if they give the real answer and say no, that you're going to say, guess what? A case is a lot of beer. Like, are we talking a case a week? No, a case a day. Case, and you don't think that's a problem? If I drank a case of soda a day, I would drop dead from diabetes within a couple months. But you think that drinking a case of beer every day is okay. Huh. Can I tell you where you're wrong in that statement? And he'd be like, nope. And I'm like, okay, but that's a lot. It's still a lot. If you eat a case of anything or drink a case of anything every day, it's overindulgence. It's a lot. It's not good for you. It's a problem, especially when you have to. Well, I don't feel right without it. And that should signal to you that there's a problem. But no, because they're no, it's fine. I like who I am when I'm like that. Okay, but nobody else does. Like, you literally have nobody in your life because you're a complete fucking douche when you're drunk. So you might like you, but trust me, it's not contagious. Other people don't feel that way. But he would never say it. So, I mean, I get it. You have to want it. And their whole way of rationalizing what they're doing so that they're right and you're wrong and everybody hates me and fuck you, you don't know me and I'm not talking to you anymore. That's a thing. It's a thing. And when they have to do the 12 steps, if they do the 12 steps and they get to amends, that's, I think, the hardest step for most of them, other than, acceptance, like self-acceptance, not being in denial. I think having to go back and eat crow is the hardest part because they have to admit that, yeah, you were right all along and I was willfully being willfully obtuse or in denial. And it's hard for them. It is. To this day, my ex-husband still hasn't apologized to me. He still says, I never hit you. Really? Really? So I'm missing teeth. Why? I never hurt you. Oh, I have a stab wound in my side. Why? Like, explain to me how, you never hurt me. But he just brings a veil and then it becomes, well, I never did that. You dreamed that. Like, I swear to God, the shit that you came up with, he would come up with scenarios where I just did the most horrific things. And I'm like, I wasn't even living with him. Like, how the hell? But I became the scapegoat for everything he did wrong and everything bad that ever happened to him because he had to see it that way. Otherwise, he'd have to admit that he was the one that did it. And he couldn't do that. It was a lot easier to blame me. Okay, if I was so bad, why do you still want to grow old with me? Why do you still talk about the fucking being on the porch in our old age? Like, wouldn't you just wish death on me and go away? I don't wish death on you, but I wish you just go away. That's why I got rid of all my old social media. Just go away. Go. Goodbye. Like, but they don't see it that way. They don't see reality because they can't. Because if they saw reality as it was, they'd have to admit where they fucked up and what they were doing wrong. And then they'd have to change if anything was going to be different. And they don't want to. They don't want to. Not yet. And they may never. And that's just a sad state of things. I didn't think this was going to turn into a talk about addiction, but I'm glad it did. Not all therapists are quacks. That's true. I liked my therapist. She just gave up on me after I stopped taking the medications because that pissed everybody off that I stopped taking the antidepressants and anti-anxieties. I was going to be in private practice, certified in addiction and play therapy. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen some quacks too. And yeah, 21 to 24-year-olds with magenta or green hair. Especially people with magenta hair. I'm just saying. Yeah, that isn't me. No. Surreality. Oh, I'm way behind. All right, let's speed this up. That sounded funnier out loud than just reading it. Oops, I shouldn't laugh at that. I know. Meth, for me, it's the association. I don't want to associate with active addicts. I get that. And you have every right to do that, but you're not actively shitting on them either. So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. People actively in recovery is one thing. People still doing crap is another. Yes. A lot of people forget that we only know what the stream is allowed to be seen. Yep. Yep. Not everyone views the internet the same way. I view it as entertainment, but I do know some entertainment I would be ashamed of viewing if God or Christ was sitting next to me watching. Yeah, I get that. Because sometimes it's a guilty pleasure. It is. But you moderate it. You don't like sink into it and it becomes your everything. I mean, you're balanced. That's a good thing. Heidi, you're reading my mind and saying it before I could again, Ellie. She does that. She does. Ellie Fun. I have to bounce for a few minutes. Today is family dental cleaning day. Good luck. Godspeed. I used to hate taking the kids to the dentist because, good God, the screaming. Even just for cleaning. Oh, God. Wolfkinder, I gave up watching streamers all the time. It was affecting me mentally and stealing my time. Oh, yeah. I could watch streamers like from literally 24 hours a day. Like I had them in both ears. I would have two streams going, one in one ear and one from another device in the other. So I didn't miss anything. That's when I was like, no, see, I need to step away. I need to step away and just deal with my own bullshit. And you have a good one, Ellie. And the same, I'll be in a work meeting for about 5-10 minutes for a bit. All righty. We're going to be wrapping up. I did this a lot longer than I thought I would. The next big money maker for the lawyers will be Diddy, especially if a trial gets streamed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell, I might do streams on Diddy. I should have done the Young Thug thing because I was so into it and I still am. I literally never miss it. But there's so much going on there. I'm just enjoying it by myself. Yeah, I could make probably bank on that, but no. But the Diddy thing, I don't know. That hits close to home for me. The whole, the whole child abuse thing. Because that's a different kind of abuse. That's the kind I can't look past. Because that doesn't happen as a side effect. That's intentional. That's actual abuse. That's willful abuse. That is malicious, determined, decided, intentional abuse. And I don't know. I don't know how well I'd do with that. That would be probably a little emotional for me. But yeah, I'm all up into those stories. Wolfkinder, it won't be streamed as federal charges, but I bet a bunch of people will report on it after the court day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Johnny Depp trial should have taught more people that you might not have all the details, and you don't have a right to know all the things about somebody else's life. Yeah, no, you really don't. You really don't. Imagine the Lions trying to get into that courtroom. Oh my God, Wolf, I know. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Because they'd want to see who's there. And the thing is, like, the people who are involved, they're not going to be there. They're going to distance themselves as much as freaking possible because they're like, don't associate me with that. Say his name and he appears. Hello, Winning. My honey. Oh, God, T-Rex is stepping on my toes again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, where'd you see T-Rex? I don't see T-Rex. He's not here. Winning reality. Wolfkinder, by the way, in one of the court docs, it stated that some of the baby oil tested positive for GHB. I know. A date grape drug. It supposedly won't show up in a urine test. That way, teach people to be aware. Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb. If somebody tells you, here, put this lotion on, fucking don't. You would think they would have learned that in Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on its skin. If somebody, in general rule of thumb, just public service announcement. If somebody wants you to put on oil or lotion, it's probably not going to lead anywhere good. Just saying. Just saying. Now, if your doctor tells you to do it, maybe. But if you're dry and ashy, yes, lotion is a good thing, but maybe you should buy your own and make sure it was sealed. But if somebody, like, if a rapper is at a party where people are fucking and there's blowjobs happening and there's weird shit, and they hand you a bottle of lotion and go, come on, get it all over. Make sure you get it in good. How about no? You should have left before the lotion. That's number one. But number two, the lotion, yeah, that would, run. Like, just say no and run. Iron Rabbit. It's hard to find a smexy 75-plus-year-old man. Why has he got to be over 75? Be like my mother. She went 17, 18 years younger. She was quite happy for many, many years. She's still happy, unfortunately. But like, go for younger. Hey, girl, when you got it, you got it. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. We live longer anyway, so they always die first. Not to be callous about it, but every single man in my family went before their wife. Every single one. Not one of them outlived the females. And then the females would live like a lot longer. But Sean Connery is Sean Connery still alive? I don't know. I honestly don't know. 75 plus. I mean, there are guys you could go for like 55. You can go for 50, girl. Get it where you want it. But I mean, whatever you do, you're just playing around because you know what's waiting for you in the afterlife. So I know that endless happiness awaits you, Rabbit. Well deserved, too. Sean Connery passed away. Well, take him off the list. Ooh, what if you went cruising at nursing homes? That could work. Oh, come on. There are some nice nursing homes in Kansas. You can go to one of those senior communities and see how the, hoity-toity rich live when they have their lawns taken care of for them and, everything else. And be like, I have a farm. Come back to the farm. I bake. Like I have a feral cat that I won over. I could win you over too. I'm just teasing you, Rabbit. Nursing homes don't have healthy people, but senior communities do. Girl, throw on your, bathing suit and go over to the pool. They have community pools there. Make a friend. Do something. I mean, you could do whatever you want. I'm just teasing you. But you brought it up. That's why I ran with it. Senior Olympics. Fucking Ellie. She said go to the Senior Olympics. Okay, time to roll. Have a good day. Everybody remember to pet grass. Yes, absolutely. Pet grass. We just planted a good 20 mums in the front because they're perennial, so they'll just keep coming back. They'll be fine. But my mother wanted mums, so we have mums lining the entire front in front of the porch and the ramp that we have because, with Katie, we have a ramp. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's so fall-y because they're all yellow and orange and white. And it's just like, oh my God, they're so pretty. And she's really happy with it. So, but yeah, that's what we've been doing for like days. No, move it here, move it there, put it there, da, 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 like rearranging. I think I'll stay single and celibate, girl. That's probably the smartest thing you could do. See you later, Ellie. Oh, Will Raleigh. Hi, honey. Hi, I caught you live, Shelly. I usually watch replay. I know. You're wonderful. I love you. Did you see the last Raw? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It was over so quick, though. Goodness. SmackDown was good, too. But Bad Blood was amazing. Oh, my goodness. It was so good. It was so good. I hope you enjoyed it as much as Winning and I did. Iron Rabbit. Just finished putting clothes back in the closet. Plaster crumbled, so it had to be torn out, replaced with cedar planks. Oh, no. The cedar's good, though. That'll keep the moths out. I always like to have cedar in the closets. Like I'll have cedar hangers, or I'll actually buy like the cedar plank and cut it up and like just like tape it to the wall or like hang it off a hanger because it really does do wonders for keeping the moths away. I'm sorry that your plaster fell down, though. I have to actually close up. There's a little part of the corner of my closet that I noticed is open, and it needs to be corked. Hold on one second. Sorry, that was my child looking for the grandparents. I don't know where they are. Well, I'm shopping and listening to you. Oh, that's good. Your daughter's 7. That's funny. I thought you were going to say your daughter is 20. My daughter's 29. She was 7 at the time. But no, my daughter is 29. Well, and my son turns 18 in a month. So yeah, no, I'm old. Like Heidi, yep, that's the insurance for it, especially where Medicaid laws are concerned. Yep. I'm sneaking back in and sitting on my hands. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say it because there was so much I could have said. Les, hi, honey. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, Winning is here. Winning popped in. I said his name and he just appeared. So of course. Uh I love Sean D. Sarcasm. Yeah, he was funny. He changed his name to something else. I can't remember what it was. He's still in my Discord, so I still see him. But yeah, no. I just used to enjoy him. He would come in and aggravate me on purpose, and it just tickled me. It really did. Wolfram handcuffs Yamaha's hands to the chair. I mean, Wolfram, where'd you get the handcuffs? I'm just wondering. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh my god, I haven't seen her since that first Halloween stream I did with the expert. Who? Haven't seen who? I'm so lost. Being young means all knowing. Being young means you're an ass. God. They know nothing and yet know everything. And there's no arguing with them. And it's so aggravating. It's so aggravating. Because sometimes my son will start like spouting off to me and he's just, and he's like, well, you have nothing to say? Nope. Why? Because it's pointless. You're not in a space where you're going to listen to me anyway. I could literally show you 100 things and you're like, that's not enough information. Really? You have nothing to show me. Nothing but, well, I heard and my friends and blah, 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 blah. Like certain things we see very eye to eye on, and certain things I'm like, whose kid are you? And who have you been hanging out with? Because you sure as shit don't sound like any of us. It's like, but I pick my battles. There's some that I know I'm not going to win. Some he has to come to on his own. I can continue to throw little seeds of, information out there for him to pick up and keep giving him documentation and stuff like that. But if he don't want to hear it, he's not going to hear it. Will said, youngish, middle age, apparently 43. Oh God, I'm going to have a midlife crisis. No, not everybody has a midlife crisis. I kind of did when I hit 44. And I went on a little bit of a rampage. And that didn't even last a year. I got over it. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. The pandemic helped to stem that. So it was like, no. I know you think you're, young and everything again, but no, we're going to keep you home now because you just got a little wild out. Yamaha said, Sister Shelly. Well, what type of nun are you and where can I sign up? Naughty nuns with rulers. I mean, in or out of the habit. There you go. My mother wanted to be a nun. I was like, oh, yeah, she would have made a good nun. She's just like them. Self-righteous and just blaming everybody else for everything. But it's like, whatever. No, I had way too debaucherous of a youth and midlife, I guess you could say, to be a nun. I love watching those movies where like the woman, she was a whore and she was the drug addict, and then all of a sudden she's a nun, and you're like, really? Like, I'm glad you cleaned yourself up, but you had to go from one extreme to the other. There's no in between. There was no happy medium for you. Were you called to God, or you just figured that was the only way you were going to control your other impulses? Because believe it or not, that is a thing. I knew some women, like I've known a lot of nuns. I mean, Catholic. So I've known a lot of nuns. And I've had coffee with them. I've sat down, whatever. There was one nun that used to come to the pre-K. Very sweet. She ran like this little this food program because at that time, and we're going way back, the kids in the preschool didn't get the free meals. You had to always supply your own food or whatever. And she used to bring in the meals for the kids that didn't have any. And I would sit down and on my lunch hour, I would have a conversation with her. And she said that her calling was, yes, eventually she realized her calling was through God because God does everything in your life. She's like, but mainly, like, I became a nun because I couldn't exist in society because I kept wanting to do all the like extreme things that you're not supposed to do. She was like, it was very, very like easy for me to do that because I had nobody watching out for me. I grew up on my own. She's like, I was very abused. I had a lot of problems. So that was my escape. That's how I lived every day. The only place that I could go, that I could think of to go for any kind of saving my body, was to also save my soul. And I went and I became a nun because I knew it was super strict. And I knew that I wouldn't have access to all those things that were bringing me down. And that's why she did it. And then eventually, through her education and like dealing with people and her service and everything, she said eventually she came to know that her becoming a nun wasn't a calling to God directly. It was more of an indirect phone call. Like, it was, God was like, well, she's not talking to me. So, all right, I'm going to make her go through all of this and eventually come to me because this is where she belongs. She's like, and this is where I belong. She said, but how I got here probably wasn't right. And I made the argument, doesn't really matter how you got there. The fact is you're there and you're where you're supposed to be. So we can't choose the road. We can only choose the destination. And however you get there is how you get there. Sometimes you got to stay on the road. Sometimes you got to walk through the weeds. You got to take a detour. She went the long way. She wasn't touchable by God. That's how did she put it? She said, God couldn't get through to me because everybody else was in the way. And I understood that. I understood having so many walls up from the actions of others that you create this like isolated version of yourself and you don't care how you destroy yourself because nobody else cares if you destroy yourself. So you're just like, well, they want it. I want it. Like, fuck it. I'll do it. And God can't get through because you won't let him in. You have to be willing to listen and to be open to it. And then once she was able to get rid of all those things that were distracting her from who she really was inside, then she was able to hear, God's message. Then she was able to feel God's calling. But she said, I took the long way around. She was like, he couldn't get through to me. She was like, I'm sure he could have forced his way through, but again, we have free will. He couldn't make me do it. He couldn't make me listen. So instead, he put me in a position where I had nowhere to go but to him or, to death. Those were my two options. Turn to God or turn to death. And I went and escaped to the place that would help me get rid of all those things. And in that way, I found God. But she didn't go there directly. And I loved her story. But she was a very sweet person. But she was maybe like 4'11". She was tiny, like 90 pounds. And she would read you a right. She was scary. She was a scary little thing. And because she'd been through it, she'd seen it. She would tell you, listen to me, Sonny, you're not going to tell me because I've been there. And she'd get all up in your face. And she'd be like, I straightened out. You can too. No excuses. And she would just read you the right act. And she was very effective. I liked her a lot. I'm not going to say her name because she's still alive, but I liked her a lot. We got along in many ways because she took no shit. She admitted that she did a bunch of messed up things and that she came to God for the wrong reasons, but it was the right destination. So I was like, I don't think God cares what brings you to him, just as long as you make the conscious decision, that's where I'm going. I was like, when you choose him, everybody has different reasons for choosing. Some have reasons for believing in the universe. Some have reasons for, believing whatever. I don't think he cares how you get there as long as you get there. If you're going to gain experience along the way that's going to help you to better understand why you need him or why you're there, then great. If it's going to help other people, great. If it's you just wake up one day and you just decide, you know what, I need more God in my life, that's fine too. Whatever reason you have, as long as it brings you closer to him, I think it's fine. I think he's like, no, it's good. I like the track you're on. Keep going. Because he appreciates that we're all individuals. That's how he made us. Free will, the ability to make our own decisions, good or bad. And when we make a good one, he's a proud parent. When we make a bad one, he's like, oh, this bitch. Like, oh, geez. Again? Really? The same way I am with my kids. Like, he looks like, oh, why'd I give you free will? Like, I need you. Why can't I just make you do what I want you to do? Well, because I promised I wouldn't. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. God is the uber patient parent. Like I said, he wasn't. That's why we had floods and plagues and shit. But now he's just like, all right, they'll come around eventually. And if they don't, well, there'll be a reckoning. So everybody's got to answer at some point. And he knows that. I think he's just willing to just let us do what we're going to do and see where we wind up. Yamaha biker. Heidi said that's an ism for sure. Everything's an ism nowadays. Right? I got to start sobering up. I know. I'll drink beer. Yeah, I know. But that's my ex-husband. The same way, oh, I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. I'm just dating other people. I'm sorry, what? Like, how is that not cheating? How would you feel if I dated another dude? I'll kill you. Why? Because then you're cheating on me. But if you do it, you're not cheating on me. Shut up. Like, I can't. Oh, God. People make me laugh with the blinders they put on. My dad bought wine for his girlfriend. He thought alcoholics drink hard liquor. She drank a box of wine every 2 to 3 days. That's 4 bottles. And she was drinking mouthwash and vanilla extract. Oh, I know people who've done that. Wolfkinder, I do. I knew somebody who actually drank NyQuil for the alcohol in it. I was like, are you kidding? Like, you're going to kill yourself. That's medicine. Like, what is wrong? No, didn't even affect them. Nothing. Will Raleigh, I watch people doing live streams all the time. I was listening to someone from the Philippines today doing a live stream. Nice. Sorry, hi chat. I'm shopping, getting food, pizza, and nice ham and pineapple. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? No. No. I do not like pineapple on my pizza, but then again, I don't like pineapple and tomato together. It's just and pineapple with cheese. Now, pineapple with ham, that I'm down with. I will cook a giant Virginia ham with the cloves and like the cross marks and with big pieces of pineapple with the maraschino cherries. I will make that whole thing. I will even cook the ham on top of pineapple slices because it tastes that fucking good. But pineapple on my pizza? No. How dare you? Yamaha bike. I'm teasing, but no. Yamaha said vanilla extract will jack you up. I dealt with the guy multiple times that would guzzle vanilla extract like it was going out of style. Totally screwed him up. That stuff is lethal. And I have really, really strong vanilla extract here. Could you imagine? Like, I pay a lot of money for my vanilla because I like to bake. But yeah, no. Oh, no. Winning said, Will, Shelly and I watch Raw and SmackDown every week and all the big events as well. Yep, we sure do. That's how I get my aggression out. And he's like, you're in a bad mood. We'll watch wrestling. I'm like, all right, fine. And then by the end of wrestling, I'm always in a better mood. Always. It never fails. Because I get it all out. I get all that frustration out. And I'm yelling and all right. And he sits there and every once in a while you hear because of my reaction. Like, he tries not to like make fun of me or whatever because I really get into it, but everyone's gonna just hear him snort. It's like, because I get it. I get vicious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Like, I could never stream me watching wrestling because my mouth, oh good God, I call these people everything because I get so mad. But then when it's over, I'm in such a good place. It's really therapeutic for me. Wolfram said, LOL, you played the dancing video where T-Rex was stepping on my paws. I know. Well, Raleigh, oil and lotion just means one thing. No. Yeah, no. If you need oil or lotion to do something with somebody, then no, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I shouldn't have a bathtub full of either. I mean, if you're going to use it for your own personal use, you go ahead. You do that, Yamaha. You jump right in that oil and you lather up. But be careful getting out because that bitch is slippery. I hope you have carpets and not linoleum because your ass is going to fall. And that'll be fun for the paramedics to find. Be like, what happened to him? I don't know. How'd he die? He fell and he hit his head. Well, how'd he fall? He got out of a tub full of baby oil that was like, had, what is that, GHA you called it, or MDMA, or whatever the hell they're putting in it. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. He got out and he slipped and he hit his head. And now he's naked and dead with a heart on by himself. And there's nobody else in the house. What do you take of that? Oh, gee, I don't know. Yeah, you don't want to go out that way, Yamaha. So just maybe drain the bathtub instead of yourself. I'm just saying. See, you made me go there. I was trying to be nice. You made me go there. But to be fair, it's not really hard to lead me there. It's just a small step, and there it is. Wolfkinder, Yamaha dad just didn't get it. Yamaha dad just didn't get it. The coroner couldn't understand why she didn't die sooner. I was grateful they didn't try to charge my dad. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? I missed something. Oh, all right. No, okay. Your dad but wanted for the girlfriend. Okay. And she was, yeah. All right. Now I get it. Those were way far apart and a lot happened in between. So, oh, wow. Yeah, the car. All right. Now I get it. All right. So dad didn't understand about the vanilla extract and like the wine thing and her being an alcoholic. The coroner couldn't understand why she didn't die sooner. Okay. Now I get that statement. And you're grateful they didn't try to charge your dad. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you can't, unless he was force feeding her the extract. Wine is one thing. Wine is legal to give somebody. If they have a problem, that's their problem. Like, you could supply it. It's not really, I don't think it's a chargeable thing. Is it? Is it like, it's not maybe negligence, but not really. I don't know. It's weird, but I'm just grateful as well if they didn't charge him. Will said, do you watch wrestling? Winning Reality. That's cool. Yes, we do. I love wrestling. He got me into wrestling. Of course he did. Naughty boy. I say he ruined me. He absolutely ruined me. Because I know more about wrestling than I ever thought I would. Ever. Like, I sit there and look into their backstories and he shows me all the clips. It's funny. Yamaha, no, he passed away in 2020. Oh, you're talking about Sean Connery. Sean Connery passed away. Shelley, Johnny Depp's good looking. He's in his 50s or 60s. Is he in his 60s? I don't know. Or is he like 56? I forget. But yeah, he looks much better now that he got rid of that freaking psycho. Halloween that soon. I'm just shopping and they got spooky masks and witches outfits. Oh, my mother has a skeleton that wears overalls. Rabbit, you would love it. He wears denim overalls and he's got like the sun hat on, like the fishing hat on, but it's supposed to be like a farmer's hat. But to me, it looks like a fishing hat. And he has a banjo and it's got a motion sensor. So she put him out on the front of the porch. And so every time a car passes, it goes off. So at nighttime, his eyes glow red. So at nighttime, you hear the banjo start playing when the car passes. So now cars pass slowly to set him off. And then they honk their horn and like wave because they walk around and then you hear ding, 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 ding. And you see the red lights just flashing. It's become a thing. And I'm like, bring that goddamn skeleton inside. But she leaves him out there until we all go to bed. And all I hear, I'm sitting here like listening to Winning do his show or whatever. I'm trying to type and chat and I hear bing, 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 bing. Because it's only like 15 feet away from my window. So it's like, I'm going to kill her. I swear to God. But yeah, they pass by now just to set it off. And they go slow in front of it so that it goes off. And it's like, ugh. It's funny though. Sorry, Winnie, I just heard Shelly say you both watch wrestling. I've just bought a new house. Maybe that's my midlife crisis. That's a good midlife crisis to have, Will. Absolutely it is. Hey, Memento. Hope you're feeling good today. Enjoy, yeah, mazel tov. Enjoy your new home. I'm living in my new home, so we'll see. It's still my mother's home, but yeah, eventually it'll be mine. Um, Castro, hi, honey. Everybody's here. Let's see. Will said, I've not moved yet. Just waiting, hopefully, sometime in 2024. You do know that it is 2024 now, right? Well, just saying. Takes a long time in the UK to move. Months and months. Paperwork is so annoying. Really? Wow. My mother bought this house right after Memorial Day weekend. And no. Yeah. She paid for it. She started the paperwork and paid for it right after Memorial Day weekend. And by 4th of July, she was living here. And then a month and a half later, I moved in with my other kid. Like, she took one kid because I was like, oh, you're going to get the house set up. Take Katie. Like, I don't care what you do, just take Katie. Because there's no freaking way I'm going to pack up this apartment with Katie underfoot. Like, just take her. Which was a very smart idea on my part. But now, we live here. I live in the mountains of Pennsylvania. I was going to say the mountains of Tennessee because that's where I wanted to live. But no, I'm in Pennsylvania. And I love it. Right now, the tree outside my house, like right across from my bedroom window, I have this huge apple tree. It's a crab apple. Well, not crab apple. It's golden delicious, but it's huge. And so it's like super, I'm guaranteed it's super old, but it's still green in the very middle. And then it's yellow and orange leaves coming outward. And then the outer leaves are red. And it's gorgeous. I sit here every day and I'm like, oh, the red is what's winning? Is it the orange winning today? Is red winning? What's going on? But everything is turning. There's another tree that's completely red, and I'm just in love with it. But all our little like dandelions are popping up because we had a lot of rain. So there's a lot of dandelions. My daughter, for the very first time, I gave her the money catcher, the chrysanthemum, the dandelion before it like gets all the sprouts. When it has all the little white things and you blow on it and they blow away. Penny catcher, that's what we used to call it. And she'd never seen one because we don't have them in Hoboken. And I mean, I didn't take her to like country parks. I took her to like fishing. They didn't have them there. I took her to swimming pools. I took her to lakes. I took her to beaches, like amusement parks, movies. She never saw one. I grew up with them down the shore. So, I mean, I knew them, but it was her first time seeing one. She was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And then I blew on it. She was like, oh, why did you do that? I was like, because that's what you do. She was like, God, Ma, you got to blow everything. And my son was like, bah! I was like, that's not funny. You should not find that funny ever. Like, you should not have understood that joke. He was like, what am I, dead? I'm almost 18. I'm like, yeah, at 18, I wouldn't have understood that joke. But, well, no, at 18, yes, 16, no. But she was like, can I try? I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I went and got a bunch of them for her, and she had such a good time. She was I didn't take a picture because she was mad at me. She didn't want me to take a picture. She was covered in the little white things that float away, like in the pollen or petals, whatever you want to call it. But she kept like doing it, not realizing it was blowing back at her. And she's like, hee hee hee. My daughter has a lot of curly hair, like a big curly fro. And it was all like covering her, and she didn't realize it. And we just thought it was hilarious because she looked like this little gray old lady. She was having such a good time. But yeah, so there's that. 6 months ago, I sold my house. Still here. How are you still in your house if you sold it? I'm not really religious, but someone made the world. Yep, God. Well, I wish you luck, honey, in your new home. I hope you move into it soon. Time to go. Bye, Rabbit. I love you. See, I'm only 15 minutes behind. Hopefully, I caught you. Have a great rest of your day, Rabbit. Absolutely. Lass, I'm glad you're here. Will said, I love pineapple on pizza. So nice. Yeah, no. Pineapple on pizza is an acceptable level of degeneracy. I mean, if you want to be a deviant, yeah, pineapple on pizza, that's a pretty low rung. Like you could start there. But I won't do it. Wow. One, the government has to make everything so difficult. Overseas, it seems like everything is difficult. My goodness. Hi, Lady Autumn. Yep, I chatted to someone. It took 9 months for her to move. Fuck out of here. No. Heidi, that was my sister's start when she was a teen. NyQuil and mouthwash. She's been sober 30 plus years. Thank God. Thank God, Heidi. That I can't even imagine what that does to your stomach. I mean, I guess when you're young, I mean, I know I had an iron stomach when I was a teenager. I could eat or drink anything and have no ill effects. Now it's like I look at a piece of cheese and my stomach's like, all right, bitch, nope. Well, you want to fight? We'll fight. Like it does not like me when I do that. But I'm glad she got sober. That could have been really catastrophic. Not just for her life in general, but in irreparable ways on her body. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jacob Castro must have missed popping into chat. Yeah, he jumped in here. He snuck in. Listen, hey, Castro must have missed popping into chat. She sent him a heart, jack-o'-lantern, and a chicken leg. But she meant to send him another heart. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Give Wolfie the chicken leg. He'll be happy. Will said, oh my God, that sounds awful. Not sure who you talking about died that way in a bath with pills, you know? Yeah, no, I'm just saying, if you go that way, that would be terrible. My apologies. I hit the wrong button. You made me laugh, though, so thank you. Hey, winning Shelly, who's your favorite wrestler at the moment? Mine's Alexa Bliss, Kevin Owens. I do love me Kevin Owens. Kevin comes out, and I'm like, oh, it's my teddy bear. I tend to be partial to Randy Orton. I love me some Randy. Female Rhea Ripley, without doubt. I love Rhea Ripley. I love Valkyria. I think she's great. They don't use her enough. I can't stand Bailey. I can't stand Gunther. I love that the whole thing happened at Bad Blood. I'm not going to say it for those who haven't seen, but that somebody came back. I was like, oh my God. I was so happy. I really like Jey Uso. I do. Like, I love him. But out of all of them, my absolute favorite, I'd have to go between Randy Orton and, you know, one big son of a bitch, Braun Strowman. Like, he is one big son of a bitch. And I think he's great. I do love me some Uncle Howdy. I do. And of course, Bray has to be up there. But if we're talking active wrestlers right now, just that are there every week and not doing like sporadic stuff, then it's got to be Randy and Braun. Yeah. There are ones that I absolutely hate. Carmelo Hayes, I absolutely cannot stand him. He's the most egotistical piece of crap I've seen. I'm not a huge fan of Andrade. I do love Rey Mysterio. I got to say, I do love Rey Mysterio. And I hate his son, Dom. But yeah, no, those are my picks. But Rhea Ripley is definitely top of the charts for me. And I do love me some Tiffy time. I do. I really like most of the girls. I just don't like the vapid ones. I've come around on Damage Control. I couldn't stand them before, and now I'm just she comes out and I'm like, because I just love that she yells at everything. I don't understand what she's saying, but she's so energetic, and I love it. Johnny Depp is 61. Holy crap. Is he really? He looks good for 61. 61 thought he was 60s. Like, I like Johnny Depp, thank God. He won. Stupid Amber Heard kid. Yep. He looked like he was in his 70s when he was with her. God, he looked like he was going to go the Jim Belushi way. Or John Belushi. John Belushi. Was it John Belushi? Jim Belushi is the one who's not dead. I always mix them up. But yeah, no, he's doing much better. He looks much better. Hopefully he'll be making better films because I watched that John DeBarry or the DeBarry film, whatever the fuck it was, about what was it, King Louis's girlfriend, the one that lived there, like his mistress or whatever. And I didn't love it. It was very French, granted, but he didn't look good in it, like because you could tell he was going through stuff. But then he was fine. I mean, it was a good movie. It didn't do much for me. It was well made. It was beautifully done, but it's very slow and very, French. So, when I told him I talked with one of the cops who came to take her to the hospital where she died. When I told him it was nearly a year later, I was grateful he didn't charge my dad. He said it never crossed his mind. No, because you can't control the actions of them. Nobody forced her. Your dad didn't force her to drink, the things that she drank that were not alcohol. And he didn't force her to drink the alcohol. He supplied it, not being aware that wasn't a good thing for her. Like, it's like plausible deniability. Like, you don't know that you're committing crimes every day, even though you are, you just don't know what they are. Because think about it, we all commit crimes every day unknowingly because you don't know every law that's out there. The same way he didn't have the information on what her condition was or what it entails. So how could he have known? He didn't do it on purpose. So yeah, no, I'm glad the cop told you that though. Stupid Amber Heard meant to say, oh no, don't worry about it. We all know she's stupid. T-Rex, howdy. Hey, sorry I missed most of the show. I've been dealing with the bunk heater not working all day. Oh, they're probably going to give me a loaner truck to finish out the load I'm under. Well, we're all counting on you to finish your load. I wouldn't. I mean, Wolfram. I mean, he would. Maybe he's wooden. You don't know. He might have just woke up. Jacob Castro, a huge. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Huge. I'm not British. I don't say the H. It's huge, not huge. How do British people say it? Because I know they pronounce the H for a lot of shit that's stupid. Like they say herbs. Herb is a name. Like I don't put herbs. I don't drink herbal tea. I drink herbal tea. I put herbs in. Like I just don't say the H because I never did and nobody around me ever did. But then again, I say coffee and oh well. I'm dreading when my neighbor puts out her motion sensor Halloween decorations. It startles my dogs at night and they'll bark incessantly. Oh no. Well, luckily I have no neighbors. I have nothing. I have like the mechanic shop on one side and I have the abandoned derelict house on the other that we're trying to get them to sell to us so that we could bulldoze it. But other than that, nothing. There's nobody around me to annoy. It's funny because Katie goes walking every day in the front yard. She walks from one end of the property to the other, takes a breath. Sometimes it takes her a couple minutes and then she'll like take a walk back. And it's funny to watch her because everybody that sees her slows down, honks the horn and waves at her. And she gets such a kick and they're like, looking good, doing great. They're so encouraging. And it's so different from where I'm from. Because where I'm from, they would have been like, oh, you retard. Oh, look at you. I hope you fall. It was so negative. And here they're just like, they think she's great. They tease her like when they were putting the shower in my, when they were installing the shower in my bathroom, the guy that was here was like, he was like, you're really sweet. Yeah, you're a little young for me. You got an older sister? She was like, I have a mother. He was like, what's your mom look like? She showed it. He was like, oh, your mom's hot. It was like, can I meet your mom? Where's she at? She coming here? And she was just like, oh my God, that's my mother. My mother is not hot. She's my mother. And it was just funny. But yeah, no, people here are super friendly. They're super encouraging. Yeah, the post office lady had to introduce herself to me, and like even like the FedEx guy was like, "Hi, I'm here with your package, and I saw you inside. I just thought I'd say hi, introduce myself." I was like, "Okay." A damn heat! They're trying to kill me with this heat. I gotta get my son to go behind the dresser and close the vent because I'd rather be cold. Um, but yeah, no, it's really nice here. I love it here. I do. It'd be great if my mother wasn't here. But no, the thing doesn't set off anybody else's dogs. It sets off my cats. They sit there like, what the hell? Boo thinks it's his friend. Like Boo literally went up the back of the walker because my mother had it sitting in the seat of the walker. And he wanted it to play the music, and he kept touching the banjo and it wouldn't go off because the thing was turned off. And so he climbed up the back of the walker and whacked it on the back of the head. He just gave that skeleton one shot. Like, come on, sing, bitch. And nothing happened. He just looked at me. I was like, all right, I'll turn it on. And I turned it on, and then he was happy. But yeah, it was funny. Shelly, look up Kinzua Skywalk in McKean County. I gotta write that down. Kinzua Skywalk. See, that word right there, skywalk, makes me think that you hate me. Just saying. Because if it's one of those like high up, oh, good God. In McKean County. All right. T-Rex, at least you don't pay property tax. This is true. This is true. Mm-hmm. Very true. I gotta do it.
First of all, I don't pay property tax.
My timing was off, and he's gonna give me shit for it, but that's all right. So Winning said his favorite. Wait, I jumped ahead. Wait. So oh God, I can't just jump ahead. So one of the cops. Wait, let me catch up. Huge apple tree. Yes. Property tax. There we go. Jacob said, "I'll take the drumstick." Right? I'm starving. I haven't eaten since yesterday. What's one thing about living here? I'm literally down to like on a really, really like heavy eating day, I get in about 1,000 calories. That's about it. These people do not like to eat, and I'm not allowed to eat in the room, and I refuse to associate when they're being shitheads. So I spend most of my time in my room just drinking water. So yeah, like things are a little different. But apparently I'm on a fasting diet and didn't know it. So whatever. I'll make it work for me. I guess I'm gonna make chicken for dinner. Nice. Winning reality. True. Lady Awesome said, I checked out of WWF before they made the change to WWE many moons ago. I grew up watching wrestling back when it wasn't just McMahon in the game. Well, he's out of it. Now Triple H is running things. And let me tell you something, now would be a good time to get into it because it is really good. The storylines are good, like the associations are good. The baby faces, like the ones that are, like just out there, just glad handing everybody, they're amazing. The heels, you love to hate them. Like it's addictive. It really is. Like that is addictive to me because I look forward to Friday night and Monday night every time, every week, because we sit there and we just watch that. And I just, oh my God. And it's funny because somebody was watching with us one night and I was like, all right, I do commentating through the whole thing, so don't get annoyed. And it's funny because I was like, oh, no, oh, bitch, dama. And they were hysterical because I literally react to everything that happens. If we're watching wrestling and I'm not reacting, I'm in a bad mood. And that's not a good sign. Like if I'm quiet at any point, not a good sign. So, and trust me, this one is very in tune with why being quiet. Like, did you fall asleep? Are you what? Yeah, no, I'm watching. Winning said, Will, Cody, Wyatt 6, Tiffy, Bray forever. Yeah, I know. Right, Shelly, he's looking good at 61. Hell yeah, Johnny Depp is looking good at 61. Shit. Winning said WWE is Triple H's game now. It's really good now. See? And I didn't even read that before I said it. He's got me so well trained, it's ridiculous. Hey, Winning, are you going to show Kamala getting destroyed on 60 Minutes yesterday? Nice. I pronounced the H in huge. That must be a Jersey thing. T-Rex, shut up. How do you say huge? Huge. What is huge? Huge. Huge. It's just too much effort. God, that's just way too much effort to pronounce the H for that. No, because you already have the U. So be quiet. I love you, T-Rex. I say no. That is not how you spell coffee. It's not COA. It's CAWFFEE. Give me a break. Do we have to go through the list of Jerseyisms again? Stop. 60 Minutes ain't even covering for her. It was a bloodbath. I haven't watched this thing yet, but I'm going to. All right, so it's coffee. I drink coffee. I pray to God. I can say God, but I have to actually sit there and think about what I'm saying and articulate it. I can say God, but for the most part, I say God. So it comes out like God. Tired. My legs are tired. I take math. I use a bag. I eat eggs. What else? Give me water. Water. Like it's just, that's my accent. Screw it if they can't take a joke, but that's my accent. It's not like I say, can I have a cup of tea? I want a cup of tea. Give me a cup of coffee. There. If Darth listens in, he'll be quite happy. Because I was like, can't believe you wouldn't do a British accent, but you do fucking monkey noises for divinity. Fuck you and everything you're about. That was hilarious. He was so mad because he spent like 6 hours sitting on a Christmas Eve stream with me. And he asked me to do a British accent. And I was like, no, oh my God, don't put me on the spot. I'm embarrassed. And he goes, do a monkey noise. I was like, he was like, fuck you and everything you're about. I've been sitting here for 6 hours. That will always make me laugh. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Winning, yeah, that was a long time coming. Yes. I'm also hungry. I'm hungry too, honey. I am. Yes, listen, I hope I don't get copyright claimed for it. Whatever. I already played the super chat thing that you made for me, so I know I'm gonna get my little email saying you cannot be monetized. Take this out. That's fine. But it is what it is. I would love a piece of chocolate. I really would. I would love a Snickers bar, but I pretty much gave up sugar. My son gave me a piece of chocolate the other day, and I was sick all day. All day. My body reacted very badly to that much sugar in one sitting. And it was only like it was one of those teeny tiny little like bite-sized Hershey bars. And I was like, oh, that'll be fine. It was smaller than one of those Dove chocolate pieces. And I ate it. Oh my God, I was so sick. Within maybe 15 minutes, my body started making noises it was not supposed to make. I was like, oh my God, I was sweating. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't eat that much refined sugar in one space anymore. It messed me up for days. So I haven't been able to get my hands on any dark chocolate. I'm hoping maybe I can have that at least. Winning. Oh yeah, I have to fix that. Yeah, I know. That's all right. Take your time. I give him shit, but he does so much for me. It's fine. Here's a thing. that I could share that I didn't know was going to be an issue. I got yesterday. I went out to have a smoke by my mother, and I saw her list for the grocery store, and I was like, oh, let me add a couple things because I need a couple things. Because if you're not knowing, I'm not allowed to order food. I'm not allowed to order Amazon. I'm not allowed to basically eat in my room. I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm 50, but I have, rules. And so that's why I only eat like one meal a day. And I decided to put some stuff on the list. And I told her, I said, hey, I wrote some stuff on the list. She goes, what? And I told her this morning, I really didn't appreciate what you did last night because you made me feel like I was in the wrong for asking for something for me when we do everything your way. Like, if I want something to eat, I would like to be able to eat that. And all I asked for was for a box of farina and a can of lentil soup and a can of split pea soup because I really enjoy those, especially when the weather gets cold. I want something I can grab and just make. And I could put both of them, like I could put crackers in the green pea soup, or I could put the lentils in with some rice and have a nice big, bowl of lentils and rice. And the farina, I like to have farina with gravy in it, like red gravy, like the meat sauce gravy, and with Parmesan cheese, because that is my favorite dish in the world, like ever in life. My grandmother used to make it specifically for me. Nobody else in my house liked it, but she made that for me. I just like it. I love it, but it's filling. It's really delicious, whatever. So I wanted that, and I said I put them. You gonna cook now? You gonna start cooking? Like, I don't cook now. Like, I cook, but she got nasty about it. So this morning I said, I really didn't appreciate that you made me feel bad. Like I was wrong for asking something for me in the house I live in. I'm not a child. I've been feeding myself my whole life. I've been buying my own groceries. You won't let me buy my own groceries. So if I put it on your list, it's because I want it. And you're making me feel like I don't have a right to want it. Oh, I was joking with you. You take things too personally. That is classic narcissism. Oh, I belittled you. I made you feel like you were wrong. You called me on it. And now I'm only joking. It's your problem. You're too serious. You're too sensitive. So no matter what she says or does, it's my fault. And I was like, you know what? I said, I'm not playing this fucking game with you. I was like, I put shit on there. I put tissues. I put like all sorts of stuff. I said, and if you don't get them for me, I'm going to fucking order them and then I'll have it out with your husband and we'll see where that goes. And she was like, no, it's not a problem. So what did she do? She brings me I asked her to get me lined paper pads, like legal pads to write out because that's what I use when I do the show. And I can't find mine. There's a box still that I can't find with my clipboard, with everything. I have a process. Well, what do you need that for? Just use blank paper. I have reams of paper. I don't want blank paper. I need to write out scripts. Do you know how hard it is to write and follow a script that's not on lined paper? I have a process. Just leave me alone. And everything's an imposition. Everything's an imposition. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Da, 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 da. I asked her to get me a pack of cigarettes. She was like, I just bought you cigarettes. I said, you bought me one pack of cigarettes 3 days ago and it's lasted for 3 days. Can I get another? What is the problem? I'll go get it myself. No. Well, then I'll order it. No. Well, then buy me the fucking cigarettes and stop bitching about it. The minute I wake up, it's bitch, 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 bitch. Then she's like, why are you in such a foul mood? Because you've been bitching at me for the last hour and I didn't even get to say good morning yet. What the hell? So what does she do? She interrupts my show to bring me pads that she had downstairs. She's like, oh, here, you can have these. I'm not buying the new ones. I still need a clipboard. Well, I don't have a clipboard, so you just have to do without. Why do I have to do without? Why? Why can't you just pick one up in the goddamn dollar store? I'm not asking for a $50 clipboard that does this script writing by itself. I'm asking for just a piece of fucking plywood, that has a little clip thing on top. Hell, I'll make my own. Bring me the materials, something. But no, everything's in position. Everything's a challenge. And it's just like, I don't understand why she feels the need to control me to the degree that she's trying to control me. I don't get it. Why did you bring me here? Take me out of my independent life, claim you're doing it to help me, and then shit on everything that I want and everything that I do and just yell at me and put me down and whatever. Why? I haven't figured out anything other than she's just a mean-spirited old bitch. Like, that's where I'm at this point. And I'm trying to, like, not react to her bullshit. But she always has an excuse. Oh, I was just joking. Oh, you took it the wrong way. I never said that. Bitch, I am not the one who's 81. I remember what you said. Oh, well, you have brain issues too. But I don't remember things wrong. I either don't remember or I remember. I don't remember them wrong. Like, there's a difference. She told a whole story about me the other day, and I'm looking at her, and like her husband looked at me. He goes, "You did that?" I said, "Nope, never, not once." I was like, I don't know who she's talking about or how she dreamed that shit up, but that never happened. None of it from start to finish. That was complete and total fiction. And she believed it. And she was like, no, I remember it. I said, yeah, but I said, that has nothing to do with old age. I said, because even in your 40s and 50s, you just don't tell a story correctly. Like, you just make shit up. It's always been like that. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah. I got to fix that. Yeah, I had some candy with dyes in it last week, and I'm still having a shit. Yeah, right? Like, I've been trying to cut out, like, the red stuff, orange, anything red or orange that isn't naturally that color. I'm trying to avoid. It's really hard with the red. I can honestly say I think I'm addicted to red food coloring, to that red coloring, whatever that they put in it, because like everything that I drink, like, it has to be red. It's so weird. Even like the water drops that I use. But I figure I dilute it so much, it's probably not doing much of anything. But I mean, eventually I know I'm going to have to work it out, but I'm giving up enough right now. Yep, live with the same thing for half my life. Girl, it's driving me crazy. Anyway, last said getting healthy from the inside out is pricey. Oh yeah. Just me trying to add vitamins and changing salt, sugar, grains, and oil is going to cost too much to do all at the same time. I'm just going to have to. So that's what I did. I started incorporating like little things, little changes. Changed the brand of peanut butter to organic. All right, so that's not a big price change, but it is a big, change in my house. Then changed it to like a more natural preserve. Instead of having jelly, you have a preserve. Like, and make sure it's like, like local or whatever. Honey, change the honey, change the meat, like go from regular, just ordinary supermarket meat to grass-fed meat. Different things change, like little itty bitty changes. Getting rid of all those meds that I was on and taking in like different supplements that are for like inflammation or whatever. So yeah, I get it, but it took me over a year to even change probably a quarter of my habits, because they were just so ingrained in me. I didn't realize that they were toxic to me or my body or to my mind. Like, a lot of it had to be gradual change. Too much change at once is too jarring, I think. It sends you into a kind of like shock, and then you don't react as well as you do when you wean yourself off things. But I mean, don't make it like a slow thing, but weaning is much better than an abrupt change. Your body can deal with it a lot better. That's my feeling anyway. You can't change her. You have control over yourself. Try to set healthy boundaries. I say try, because it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy when you live with them. Yeah, artificial dyes, especially red dye, is addictive. The red, it kills me, because if I drink regular water, I'm just like, I literally sit there like, yeah, this is really good, but I really miss my drops. Like, I know I want them, and I drink so much water during the day. And it's just like, ugh. To save money, I shop at Aldi, so I get similar snacks without dyes and artificial flavors. I keep telling them to go to the Aldi's. Do you know they thought it was a car dealership? I was like, that's Audi, retards. Like, I can't. I was like, and they won't go because they're being stubborn. They're like, oh, we're not gonna like anything. They're gonna fucking love Aldi's. I love it. I'm like, take me, I'll go. I'll just let me go and I'll go shopping. It's fine. I'll bring the walker with the seat. So if I get tired, I sit. But no, no, no. They want to go to, we're going to go for this here and that here and that here. And I'm like, that's retarded. Like, why don't you just go to this store? Trust me, you will love the produce section and you'll love the bread section. You'll love the frozen section because it's got all the meats that you want to stock up on, but it's got good meat. Like, just read the fucking labels. Yeah, they have a dessert section my mother will love. They have all the herbs and they have like all the condiments and everything. I said the only difference is you got to bring your own bags and they don't take things out and put them up on shelves under spotlights. They just take the box, rip the front off the box, and there you go. Take your own shit. I love Aldi's. But yeah, they thought it was a car dealership because they're stupid. Well, really, that's just my mother. I've changed my shampoo and conditioner because of hair loss. I've also been making my own shower scrubs and made a natural lotion. You made a lotion, girl. We just talked about that, making your own lotion for the skin. I hope for the skin. But I had to do that too. I had to go to more natural shampoo and conditioners with less chemicals and everything in it because it was frying my hair. My hair was falling out and it was getting drier and drier and drier. I was like, oh my God. Like I'm using like this 3-minute miracle stuff and my hair is it's either really oily or really dry. Like, where is my hair? And I started using like the more natural, like botanical kind of shampoos and conditioners. And there's a huge difference in my hair. There's also a big difference in my hair with this water. Because I'm not using like the hard water that I had in Hoboken. That water was getting worse and worse. Like it was literally like leaving huge like puddles of like just iron deposits behind. But it was bad. But I get that. I'm glad that you're doing that though. It's good that you do that for yourself. It is. You need that. Heidi said, and they occasionally have wild caught Alaskan salmon fresh. Ooh, do they really? I love salmon. Oh, I love all seafood. There's not many seafoods you could put in front of me that I go, no, I'm not gonna. I just gotta make sure it's cooked, unless it's clams or oysters. I'll eat those raw. But I know there's a joke in there somewhere. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave that where it is. But no, seafood is amazing. Like that's my go-to. If someone was like, you give me surf and turf, oh Lord, that's like heaven in front of me, just on a plate. It's heaven on a plate. I love it. Well, it's castor oil, sesame seed oil, and coconut oil with a couple drops of vanilla. Oh, all right. Well, that's nice. I mean, I gave up on lotion and I turned fully to coconut oil because I just really, really like coconut oil. I like how it feels, how my skin absorbs it. And it does take on scents really well. It does. So, I mean, that must be some nice lotion. It sounds nice. I don't know about the sesame seed oil. Does that have a special kind of property to it? Does it bind it together? I try to stay away from any of those like oils like that. I graduated from esthetician school, and so I might as well use what I learned. Hell yeah. I mean, you could eventually make a business out of it. I'm just saying. Get rid of parabens and SLEs. SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate in shampoos and body washes that helps with hair loss. Oh, cool. I did not know that. But I mean, that's why I went for the more natural, like just the most that it has in it is what, like, the weird part is why they all make up water first. Water is always the first ingredient. Why? Like, I have water coming out of the shower. Can't you give me something a little more concentrated? So I have to use less of it. But yeah, it's interesting the things that we blindly use or blindly put in our bodies and we have no idea what's in them. I never had any clue what was in half the stuff that I ate or in like my deodorant, my toothpaste, any of that. Thank Winning for being like, oh, you're doing this. It's like he's telling me all these things that I'm putting in my body. I'm like, oh. I'm like, I mean, I've not always been the greatest judge of character for what goes in me, but you know, when it comes to like food, I'd like to be a little bit more educated. So I am a little bit more conscious of what I take in. SLs are harsh to the body in here. Yep. But I'm glad you guys take care of yourself. You guys really know what you're talking about. I love that. I love these little discussions that we have. But yeah, I'm doing what I can. And I think that's all you can do, lady. You can't rush it. You have to be able to do it in a way that you could afford it. It's not going to completely upset your little apple cart. And your family's not going to rebel against. That's the main thing here. Like, I'll try anything, but they're all like, they're very in their comfort zones with this stuff that they eat. So it's like, so I have to like put in little tidbits. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I know those taste delicious. It's such a shame that, that orange causes blah, 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 blah. And they're like, this causes cancer. Yeah, that can cause cancer. It has carcinogens in it. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, like you bitch about my smoking, but yet you're eating carcinogens. Like, and he's like, oh my God. I'm like, and that's worse. And he's just like, okay. And like, that's the kind of stuff that gets into his head. But I'm trying really hard to change them slowly but surely. It'll happen. All right. It is 20 to 4. I need a potty break and I really need to eat something because now it's been like 24 hours since I've eaten. So I need something. I don't know how you don't hear my stomach. It's literally sitting here like it sounds like I have Scooby-Doo in my stomach. But just realize what time it is. Got to get ready to leave. See y'all. Good night. Goodbye, Heidi. Good night, Heidi. No. Hopefully I'll see you guys later. Winning's got a stream going. I think at 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure. Sesame oil has many benefits for the skin. It's a natural source of vitamin E, exfoliates, anti-inflammatory, and protects from sun damage. I didn't know that. Oh, see? You and I are going to have a discussion one day about like different things that I can use because I have some problem areas I'd like to get rid of because of, the lymphedema and whatever. But they're not really problems. It's just they could be better. And I want to make my skin as resilient and as healthy as possible because that's the only way I'm going to beat this shit. So it's like, but anyway, I'm going to run. Thank you guys for coming by. I love you all. My chat is good. Chat is wise. Chat knows all. I hope to see you guys tonight on Winning Realities chat. And I will also see you in the Funny Papers. Bye.
Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
and
prayer.
doggone it, people like
Jersey girl, I know that you're a Jersey girl inside. 4 a.m. at a diner, stop singing, living on a
and
prayer.
doggone it, people like me.
I'm thinking maybe you're a Jersey girl with all those highlights in your hair. No other girl can move like you. We pump our fists, damn right it's true. And I don't care what they might say, they'll never get us anyway. So be my Jersey girl, and take a little ride with me tonight.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.